Welcome into the Canister Podcast, episode number 306, baby.
Yank. What that?
Dude, you're spilling everywhere.
God dang it. Happy Labor Day weekend to all y'all.
Yes.
Hard-working sons of bitches out here in the United States of America. Let's go.
Do you know the meaning and the history behind Labor Day?
Isn't it the McGuire brothers from back in the 1800s?
Well, it's just celebrating the labor workers.
Yeah, I know. But the McGuire brothers.
Yeah, but it's the labor workers, the labor.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, well, I'm just saying that's what it is.
I know.
I
know what it is.
I mean, this guy's talking about the McGuires.
Hard-working sons of bitches right there, baby. Hard-working.
Do they, now, this may be a dumb question, but here on the Canister Podcast, there are no dumb questions.
No.
Except what Cam is asking.
I'll ask some dumb questions.
To Lou Lamorello, he's asked.
Oh, that was so good.
Is
really
Labor
rocked
Day
me.
celebrated in Canada?
I don't think so. No, because...
Are they working today?
yeah, they're working today.
Like, what are they doing right now in Saskatchewan?
Saskatchewan, fucking hardcore shit right now. It's probably beautiful in Saskatchewan right now.
In the prairies?
In the prairie. It's not cold yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Oh,
probably,
no, it is getting cold.
It's probably, yeah, like you could put a fire on at night, but you're not freezing. You know what I mean?
Somebody showed me a weather forecast the other day. I want to say it was in Alberta, Calgary, high of 48.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it was raining.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude. Well, you're in
no.
Saskatchewan, dude. I
No,
mean,
you're in Alberta, in Calgary.
okay, you're in Alberta. Like, it's cold.
Mm-hmm.
You're in Canada.
Yeah.
It's cold.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That's a turnoff for a lot of people.
So you're saying, so if you're in Canada, you should just expect to be cold.
Well, yeah, and they do.
Yeah.
If
Like-
you're from Canada, you don't know the difference.
Between,
Well, you don't know, like, you're used to being cold, man. Like,
Mhm.
like when I moved, even like in northern New York, in Albany, like, people are just used to, you're going to get a shit ton of snow.
your
shit ton.
skin's thicker.
What, mine?
No, dude. I'm
God.
saying when you are accustomed to the cold weather, your body adjusts
Yeah,
to
yeah,
it.
yeah. I want to balance, but the 100-degree for 2 weeks straight
I don't
is
need
more
that.
miserable than anything in the world. Besides, ice storms,
Mhm.
and it's so cold that your pipes freeze, and you could always bundle up again in your home.
Mhm.
It's hard to stay cool when
Yeah.
it's fucking hot, man. And then you're fucking, you could put a fire on and not even touch the heat if
Yeah.
you don't want to,
Mhm.
and have certain rooms that are freezing cold. But again, then things go wrong when it's cold. Listen, I always say this, man. People always complain about global warming. Global cooling
Mhm.
kills things.
Mhm.
That's what destroyed our fucking our Earth more times than any other thing in the
Okay,
world.
you know,
Global
you're
cooling.
getting fact checked right now.
Go ahead.
Just so
Fact
you
check.
know.
Wait.
I'm just letting you
When
know.
was it so hot the Earth fucking
Melted?
melted? When?
I don't know.
Besides after an asteroid hit, for that first time when it goes around the
Yeah.
Earth,
Okay.
and then it's heated up because everything's coming back down 100 miles an hour and it
Okay.
heats up everything. But then you know what happens? Everything gets cold.
Okay, a couple of things we got to...
Where do you think Lake Michigan came
before
from?
we get into
Where'd
this?
Lake Michigan come from? Where do you think
An
the Great...
iceberg.
An iceberg?
I don't know, dude. What do you mean where'd it come from?
Where do you think the Great Lakes came from?
Now, this is interesting.
Where do you think they
Don't
came from?
get so, in my face about it. Like, I mean...
I'm right here.
I mean, you're, putting me on the spot
No, I
here.
don't mean to do that.
Yeah.
Because that's easy to
So
get
just,
got
tell
on
us.
people.
Just tell us.
Well, whenever
I mean, 'cause I would
12,000 years,
imagine a lot of my people listening right now
Because-
probably don't have the
I
answer.
bet you people know.
Some people do.
Imagine like an ice sheet mile high,
Uh-huh.
a mile high,
Uh-huh.
12,000 years ago.
Yeah,
Came down
that's
and
what I was
carved
referring to.
into, and then it melted,
Yeah.
and it became the Great Lakes.
Okay.
That's why you see, again, in New York City, there's a huge rock
Mhm.
in the middle of the city.
It's called 30 Rock.
No, huge rock in the middle of the city, and it came because the glaciers pushed that thing from way up in northern Canada, pushed it all the way to New York.
New York City?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really interesting.
Where's the rock?
That's the Ice Age, man. It's, I don't know,
On the river there? Or
somewhere right there.
What river goes to New York City?
Hudson,
Yeah, okay, good.
where Captain Sully made that plane landing.
Oh, my God.
Do you know
I've met him
he's
before.
a goddamn
you know that?
Have you really?
Yeah, because he came down to go visit Tony La Russa one
That's
time,
right.
and they were boys, and he was
Dude,
in the
you
office.
shake
We
his
all met.
hand?
I did.
You're damn right. Looking in his eye like, God, you are a hero.
hmm
That was crazy.
It was a commercial airline, I believe.
Yes, they had a lot of people on board. And
Like
the,
United or something.
and the plane. And listen, they have all these like airports have all these birds everywhere, man. Like they're everywhere, and they have to put like scarecrows out there, or whatever they have to do to
Mhm.
prevent these birds
lights
from
on the towers.
whatever it is
Yeah.
that scare them away, because
I know.
God, that could happen. The open prop, and even if it's not an open prop like that plane was,
Mhm.
it could still screw up your engine. It's exactly what happened. I think that was like 10 years ago.
Have you ever seen
Scary.
the ground by one of those big windmills, for energy?
Kills all the birds.
Yeah, there's a lot of dead birds down there, dude.
What do you do when those things don't work anymore? What do you put?
Oh,
You bury them?
oh, the birds?
No. The windmills.
Oh, I don't know.
What do you do with them?
I don't
Just curious.
I don't. They,
Oh, the
they,
green
they,
new
they,
movement
They tend to work pretty good.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Few things real quick. I've been talking. The guy, I'll give him a shout out right now. Who, at least he runs their Twitter account. He's messaged me. First of all, everyone's messaging me about your sleep apnea. I don't know what to
you
say.
brought it up.
Now, listen, you want to give me a sleep study and include me in the. Listen,
Ugh.
I'll do a sleep study because I'd like to know. But like in terms of Cam's sleep apnea, you got to message him. And
message me.
I don't know what to say
Ignore him.
about your. But the guy who owns or runs their social media, Nice Rinks, they build the outdoor ice rink. Okay, like the outdoor rink, in the backyard.
I played them. Yeah.
It's called like Nice Rinks.
Yes.
I was like, dude, come hook it up. Like, put it up. We'll pump it up. Let's build a rink in the backyard. He does not think it's cold enough in St. Louis.
It's not.
You don't think?
Fuck
Dude,
no.
you're ruining the deal. I can't believe you just say that.
What do you mean, lie?
Well, I think it's plenty cold. We get really cold weather, dude. Like for a good 2 weeks where it's super, super cold. And it stays.
Yeah, we do.
Hey,
What do you mean do on this?
hold on.
I didn't know you were trying to.
Well, no. Let's talk about this, and then it'll reshape how you're trying to come across here. I would say for a good 50 days, it is under 43 degrees.
43?
Mhm.
Okay. 43?
Yeah.
What does that do for you?
Well, it keeps it nice and cold.
No.
Because like on
It's
the
got to
other
be 32 and under.
yeah,
what
but
are you
the
talking
other
about?
days, it's like 19.
No, it's not,
It's
dude.
6.
It's not as cold as you
7,
think here,
it's
dude.
8.
No.
I used to.
No.
I used
It
to.
ain't that cold in
Listen,
St. Louis.
when
dude.
I had apartment complexes, the rental property, the pipes would freeze all the time. The tenants would call. I'd always tell them to leave the water dripping, which is 100% cure. And if your pipes freeze and you want to know how to keep them from unfreezing, you leave the water dripping, Cam. Did you know that? And then they will never freeze.
No, you just keep your heat on, dude.
No, that's not what you do.
Okay, then
You
why
gotta-
would
you
your
have to
pipe
keep-
freeze anyway if your heat's not on? Like, you keep your
Dude,
heat
that's
on.
because it would be like in a crawl space, a lot of older homes, whatever, and you cannot regulate the temperature down in some of these
Yeah.
cellars, and
Okay, well,
that's where
keep your water running.
they have the old school piping. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I don't know enough about that.
So if you leave your water dripping in that particular situation, it will not freeze.
okay.
Do you know when my daughter was born, dude? When Chloe was born, it was the beginning of January, and that's the coldest week of St. Louis traditionally. And I know that because of my time being a landlord.
February's
and stuff.
cold too.
No, January 1st through 14th is typically the coldest days of the year in St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
And when she was born, dude, it was a very long labor situation. Oh yeah, very. I mean, she didn't. I think it was
She's a
after
cutie, man.
11 p.m.
He's a stud.
when she was born. The next day, my tenant texted me at 6 a.m. saying the pipes are frozen,
That's brutal.
and I'm in the hospital. And you just got to do what you got to do. And I had to send people out there and stuff like that. I probably had to go look at it myself as well. Bring a blowtorch and try to thaw out
Put your oven on.
the pipes. Yeah. So
Dangerous.
man, it sucks, dude. I feel for you whenever your pipes freeze. But anyway, Nice Rinks. He doesn't. He said sometimes it's not even cold enough in Minnesota to put these things in.
Well, then what the fuck?
I know. Where
You know?
No,
Listen, it's
gotta
not
be
cold. It's not that cold in St. Louis,
but
man.
it's cold enough in Minnesota,
It's
dude.
big time cold enough in Minnesota. It's not cold here. It's not. We have mild winters here. Some days we'll have a week where it's 20 degrees every day. Fine. But we have mild winters here. We have slushy bullshit. We have rain. We have this. We'll have snow for a day, then it melts. That's it. We're in St. Louis,
My
dude.
buddy yesterday said, dude, you put that thing in, your grass is done.
Donzo. Dude, we wouldn't be allowed in our neighborhood.
But it'd be cool to have a rink. You'd
yeah.
come over and skate.
I would 100% skate with
But
you.
then another, he's like, well, you got to clean the ice. You got to like Zambo.
hard.
It's a lot of work.
You're not in Canada, dude. It's tough.
But
we'll
listen,
pump it up for
We'll
them.
pump up Nice Rinks,
No
man, because
shit.
I'm sure we're not even describing how you take care of it and stuff like that. Sure, it's very easy.
But let's get into this. I know we're kind of all over the place right now, like we always are. But the big news of the weekend, which fucked us all up.
Tragic news.
It fucked us all up, man. It did. You know, I think it was a Thursday night.
It was.
It was Thursday night, and I remember like Kate and I went to visit my dad with Kate. I got him some Joe Bacardi's, and I got stone cold.
Mooching off of him again.
Oh yeah, like I always do.
I'm sensing you doing.
Do you realize if
from
anything
people right
happens to
now.
him, I'm taking care of everything? Do you think anybody else in my family, my family's depleted right now, is going to take care of my dad? I am. So whenever I go over there and take a couple things, I'm going to do it, and I always have.
So because you're going to be the caretaker,
I am the caretaker.
You're allowed to just
He loves it.
ransack his house.
Ransack. I love looking around the house at old pictures and stuff like that. You know, I'll find.
Hey, I
want to
come over there with you.
You know, some blue collar
I'd like
party
to go over
Eureka.
there
So anyway,
to Denny's house.
we don't want to be.
Yeah.
We would try to. I know you guys are all listening from all over the world.
Yeah.
And we don't want to be somber today. We want to uplift you, man. Like so I don't want to be down, but it's a sad fucking weekend. I was at my dad's. Kate and I are chilling. I hooked him up with a bunch of food, so he's chilled all weekend with some Joe Bacardi's and stuff like that. I ate so much shit all night. I'm like stoned, and I'm like eating candy and fucking. And I wake up in the middle of the night Thursday, and I have to go to the bathroom. Like bad. Like one of those where you're like,
That's what happens to me. If I have dairy, like cheese, if I have cheese or something.
I'm like, oh God, just pat. I'm like, I gotta get up. Like, fine, I get up, and I'm sitting on the toilet, which is not whatever. But then I look in fucking Twitter, and I see Peelsy tweeting out about Johnny Gaudreau. I go, what the fuck is this? I'm looking around, dude. I'm looking at Twitter. I'm like, what? Anything else? Maybe one other person mentioned it, but no one else said anything. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It was 2:00 in the morning. And so I went back to bed, literally had nightmares. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I had nightmares. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Then I get up in the morning, Andy, and I look at Twitter. I'm like, yep, it's true. It's true. And it fucking rocked me, man. It really did. Kate and I are, and she doesn't even know.
Same with Laurie.
Kate had no idea, but I'm looking at fucking, even all the news stations, everybody's talking. I'm like, we sat there and cried. Like I'm an emotional dude. That fucked me up. It still does.
Yeah.
And Kate and I, she didn't know what yes, and she's crying. I'm like, God, I go, what happened? What happened? And now you kind of dig into it. There's a lot of questions, Andy, and we love the family, and we're thinking about them. And I got some questions for you about other things too. But how do you want to get this going?
Well, and the same thing, Thursday night, I was supposed to do a radio hit with a radio station in Calgary Friday morning at 8:00 St. Louis time.
Yep.
And the producer reached out to me and said, hey, we got to cancel. We're following a very tragic story that has occurred. Didn't really ask him any questions. Reached out to a few other people, said, hey, what's going down in Calgary? And then, you hear about this. And listen, I'll give the NHL media a lot of credit, man, for holding off on this story. Because it's easy to go out on Twitter and start being like, whatever. But you got to be very respectful of the situation because you just don't know what's going down behind the scenes. Because, the family has to be identified and notified. They probably, it's not something you're just looking to put out into the news. A story that's this big, who's generating this level of reaction from athletes all over the world in all sports, teams in all sports. It's been incredible in terms of the support. But it's not only the family, but it's obviously the owner of the team, the executives with the team, the players of the team, the coach of the team, Gary Bettman. The NHL's got to know. I mean, they're preparing statements. So there's so much that goes into it. I just give the NHL media a lot of credit because everyone probably, and for the most part, knew that this was true, several hours prior to the Columbus Blue Jackets releasing this. And it's absolutely devastating. It hits close to home because the hockey world is small. I didn't have a strong relationship with Johnny Gaudreau. We've never even had him on the show here on the Canvas podcast. We wanted to, and actually a guy who listens to the show is a great guy who owns a company called Stogie Golf. It's one of his best friends from home, and I was talking to him over the weekend, just reaching out through messaging and whatever. But, knowing Matthew Tkachuk in terms of, his relationship with him, playing with him all those years in Calgary, talking to the, Keith Tkachuk, he's a parent. Everyone looks at Keith Tkachuk as the player, but his son is playing on the team. So when you're a parent, you know the other parents of the other players who are playing on the team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they know the Gaudreau family very, very well in terms of Guy and Jane Gaudreau. Man, we're thinking of you. The story just, it's just one layer of nightmare after the next in terms of the sister getting married the next day. And all the anticipation and the excitement from, I'm sure, dozens and dozens of family and friends who are in town visiting the family, getting ready to celebrate a wedding the next day, and to lose not just one son, but two. And in a strange way, listen, I'm reading these incredible tributes, especially from Johnny Gaudreau's wife and Matthew Gaudreau's wife, what they put out there on Instagram, and saying that they take some comfort knowing that the brothers are together. And I thought that was interesting for them to put it that way. If you talk to people, or if you read a lot of the stuff that describes the relationship that Johnny had with his family, specifically with his brother Matthew, they were together all the time. Yeah. Very, very tight.
It's a big reason why he wanted to kind of move closer to the East Coast.
And close in age, with Johnny being 31 and Matthew being 29. Yeah. But this was, will go down as one of the biggest tragedies that we've seen certainly in hockey history. And we don't see it too often in sports, where you see this type of tragedy take place. And it's a senseless tragedy, too, when you look at the entire situation.
It could have been avoided.
Riding a bike in the dark, drunk driver. It just had everything kind of come together, which makes you just, understand the severity of it and the fact that this could have been prevented.
It could have been prevented big time. And I know I see these cyclists all the time, too, like out by me, I saw a guy almost get hit on the way here, on the way here. I'm like, whoa, this guy's just on, has no lane. He's just cruising, but he had his helmet on. He has his reflectors and all that stuff and whatever. He's doing what he's supposed to do. And you're allowed to be on that particular road out by me. But I'm like, wow, you're rolling the dice, man, every time he did. We've talked about this a million times on this podcast. I just was, why were they riding their bike too? If you look at the road too, I did all the, people are sending me just things at 50 miles an hour. There's no shoulder.
Speed limit. There's no shoulder. And those roads, you spend more time in Jersey than I have in the Philadelphia area, but I've been out there, and they're dark roads.
They're narrow roads. There's no lights anywhere. Look at these roads, man. There's no lights anywhere. And I don't know if they had the proper equipment. I don't know if they had the reflection, little thing that pops up on the back of your bike to let people know that you're riding it.
But I don't mind them riding their bikes, Ken, because you never know. I mean, the night before the wedding, maybe there was a rehearsal done, or maybe there was a reason why they decided to ride their bike. Maybe they were going out on a joyride, but
and
again,
a dangerous road.
Yeah, no, I understand.
It's a dangerous.
I understand.
road.
But, the cyclists, and when stuff like this happens, I think it does impact the whole cycling community. I had someone reach out to me today, say, hey, tell Cam to take it easy on us today,
No, I will.
Because
I will.
This rocks the cyclist community.
Yeah.
And the data that I was looking up today goes back to 2022. I haven't seen a whole lot in 2023, but there's typically around 1,000 fatal accidents involving cyclists a year in the United States. Most take place in California and Texas, I believe, along with Florida, which would make sense. That's where the most people live, And again, the weather's nice in those particular areas, so people are out there riding their bikes.
Yeah. I would say New York City.
2022 was the highest ever in terms of fatalities.
Yeah.
With bicycles, over 1,100 in the country.
Not good.
No, and this is not including motorcycles, which is a whole different category.
Yeah.
But, the reality is the cyclists, whether you like it or not, they're allowed to be on the road. They have the same rights as vehicles.
On that road?
Oh, yeah.
On that particular road that they're riding on?
They don't only have to travel on roads that have a specific bike lane, which you're seeing more and more of. A lot of places have been well ahead of the times in terms of having bike lanes in their.
So any road like that you could ride a bike on?
I would imagine so. Yeah, it's not illegal to ride a bike there.
Okay.
Yeah, you're allowed.
So any road you could ride on.
You have to give the cyclist the right of way. Now, and again, I'm not talking about like just in intersections and stop signs and stuff like that. Even when they're driving on the road, they have the right to be on the road, whether you agree with it or not. I don't know how this situation, I'm trying to play it out in my head. I mean, the way it's being described in the police reports about trying to pass a car to the left and then trying to pass a second car to the right.
Aggressive driver.
People get crazy, man, on the roads.
I see it every goddamn day, Andy. I see it every goddamn day.
Yeah.
When you live way out there, man, I'm telling you, on these little windy-ass roads with no shoulder, these fucking guys, man, and they're not necessarily drinking. Like, it's like 7 o'clock in the morning where they got to get to their job site with that big fucking Dodge Ram with 2 fucking huge exhaust pipes out the back.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going 90 miles an hour, and they're literally passing me. And it's still, like, dark out in the morning. They're literally passing me because I'm going 50. Speed limit's 50. And they're going 70. And they're passing me, and there's deer everywhere. I'm like, holy fuck. I'm like, what if there was a bike rider in the morning coming this way? I'm like, God, every single day I fucking deal with this shit. And it's just, I don't know. I don't know how to put it all together. There's a lot of questions to be answered, and it's brutal. It could have been avoided, I'm sure. Who is this guy? Who is this guy?
He is a military veteran.
Military veteran, yep.
He works at
Got a family.
addiction rehab center.
Yeah.
Wife, 2 young daughters.
Yeah.
I didn't like but he admitted to the police on the scene that he had 5 or 6 beers and he was drinking a beer in the car
while he was,
at the same time as the accident.
While he was driving aggressive.
So, you're donezo. And then, he didn't necessarily represent himself very well in his first hearing by,
No, he did not.
acting as if he's getting out. I mean, he's going to get out, I guess, maybe on bond or something, maybe before a trial or whatever, before he's sentenced.
He's going to be in jail.
But, I mean, he's worried about being there till next Thursday, and I get it, I guess, but at the same time,
no, you shouldn't.
But at the same time, no, I mean, like
no, you should not get that.
But at the same time, I'm like, dude, do you not understand the severity of what you just said? You just took 2 people's lives.
Yeah, driving aggressively,
and
drunk,
and the fact that you're facing years.
I know
of imprisonment. Man.
I don't know what he's going to be facing, but it's going to be. Probably at least a decade.
So this maybe the initial shock of talking to the judge and being like, "Oh shit, okay, they got to hold you for at least 72 hours." He's probably thinking he's getting out. Right after the weekend.
They have helmets on. Do we know?
Don't know.
Yeah, I'm just asking.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
What do we?
I don't know. Listen, I don't know how often they rode their bikes. I don't know if they're skilled bikers or if they were just, what kind of bikes they were on.
Or they didn't want to drive and they were just like, let's take our bike instead.
I think they were going to a buddy's house apparently. Listen, I think about the family, man. Like,
man,
the guy Gaudreau.
Yeah.
And I've seen a bunch of interviews and videos featuring him throughout Johnny's time as an NHL player, father trips, all-star games,
I saw
on the
those.
bench and some of that stuff, man. And the fact that he ran rinks, I think, growing up, and we've had conversations with Tony D'Angelo, who's come on here. Great conversations.
Tony, what's up?
Talking about the Gaudreau family and, him growing up with Johnny. We had Kevin Hayes on about a year ago from this time, man. He talked a lot about Johnny. Obviously, those 2 teamed up at Boston College. Yeah. But, Guy Gaudreau just had a heart attack not too long ago.
Really?
And then apparently, there's some talk, rumors. Again, I don't want to spread any rumors that there may have been a medical incident with him and his wife when they learned the news of what had happened. So you just hope everybody is okay. And they're going to be able to find a way to get through this, man, because it is not going to be easy, especially with hockey season right around the corner. I have no idea how they're going to be able to get through this here in the short term.
Can I ask you a couple questions?
Yeah.
What happens with his contract? I'm just curious.
I would think that the Columbus Blue Jackets, especially having a wealthy owner, and I don't know what language is written into an NHL player's contract.
Yeah.
For something like this, I would imagine contracts are insured, but I would imagine his family, his estate,
gets it,
will receive every last dime that is owed to him.
Just asking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People.
There's a GoFundMe for Matthew.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's up to a lot of money now.
Oh, I've seen. There's been a ton of NHL players who have contributed to that.
Even like LeBron tweeted like this. Everybody's.
I like that too, man.
I did too. I saw that, and I chirp LeBron here and there.
Yeah, but that was cool, man.
That was cool, man. Tip of the cap to you. That's all you. Sometimes just little things like that, man, go a long way with a lot of people that maybe view you in a different way. Yeah. I like that.
But I'll never forget, Cam, when I was reaching out to some people, just that moment of getting a text back, and it was just one word, and it was Gaudreau. Because I got to admit, when I got the phone call or the text message from the producer with the Calgary radio station saying, hey, we got to cancel the next morning, I'm thinking like maybe there was some type of criminal charge against a domestic issue with the Flames player or a Rough Riders player or whatever, or a Stampede, whatever. Yeah. You know, there's something. This is the last thing I would have ever even thought. And I got a text message, just had one word, and it said Gaudreau. And so again, you know, it was. I just right away you're thinking about the family. I'm thinking about those who are closest with him. And Kevin Hayes came to listen. I'm thinking about Kevin Hayes right now, man.
Yeah, me too.
And you let him do it awful lot, man. You lose your brother, which couldn't have been easy. I would imagine Johnny was there for him. When he lost Jimmy, and now to lose one of his closest friends.
I'm sure he's close with both those guys.
Life is not fair.
It's not fair. No, it's not. And always remember that it's not fair. And I've seen a lot of tweets like this: hug your family. You're damn right. Mm-hmm. Just like I always say, hug your mom. When my mom passed away, I go to my dad's all the goddamn time. I hug them. Mm-hmm. Be around them. Just don't let it affect you negatively. But just always remember, like, you never know. So always just be there for your family and the ones that support you and around you all the time. You got to do that kind of stuff. What about people are saying naming a trophy after him? Go ahead, do it. Retiring his number in Calgary, do it.
Oh yeah.
Retire his number in fucking
Columbus, I think.
And not to mention Columbus too. This is the second time in 4 years where there's a horrible.
Columbus has been.
What the fuck? I'm rooting for them, dude.
Yeah.
I am rooting for that organization.
Yeah.
Even after what happened with Elvis Merlinkin's. I'm sorry if I butchered that. My bad on that. And the Kiwi, what's the goal?
Don't ask me. I know.
And the firework, Manny, which we know Manny.
Kurlinix.
Yeah, and we know Manny Legacy. I play with Manny. Awesome guy.
Manny's awesome. Dude.
When that happened with the firework incident, and then now you have this, like, it's just, it's been tough. It's been tough for that organization in many of ways, and this just is just, I don't know. But we just wanted to talk about it a little bit. There's a lot of questions that still need to be answered for sure.
What questions do you have?
I just want to know. I just want to know a little bit more about, were they in the middle of the road? Like, were they supposed to be on that road? Like, were they wearing a helmet? I don't know.
I want to honor the goaltender of Columbus properly and say his name properly. So Matisse Kivlenix.
Yeah.
So that was a tragic situation.
That was god-awful too.
Terrible. There's been a number of these in sports.
And in hockey. And remember with the Blues in the 70s with Bob Gassoff.
But there was a Philadelphia Flyers player as well.
Well, I'm going to tell the Bob Gassoff story, which, we still know all these old school cats. We skated with Bobby Gassoff Jr., who was a Navy SEAL. He was a shit-kicking motherfucker in St. Louis, baby. Yeah. And his mom was pregnant with him, and they had a party way out where I live, way out there where I kind of grew up. Mm-hmm. They had their parties out there and skeet shooting in the 70s. And they had this, they're at this house. I think it was Bruce Affleck. Somebody's like, Bruce Affleck was there, who runs the Blues alumni. Mm-hmm. And so they're all partying out in this house in the 70s. Bob Gassoff was a young guy, up-and-comer, tougher than dog shit, fucking very popular in St. Louis. And they had one of the kids working at the farm, like, hey, go for a beer run. Got into a pickup truck, flew down this dirt road to go to the gas station. Probably was pretty far away. So he's hurrying up, he's flying. Bob Gassoff gets on a motorcycle just to cruise around like a little, a dirt bike. And he's flying around. They both come around a corner. The kid's flying 100 miles an hour, runs right into him, kills him. And that was a big, big, big deal in St. Louis.
Not literally 100 miles an hour, but like, very, very fast.
Flying.
Right?
He's flying.
Yeah.
He was flying. I mean, like, he's going too fast. And, just tragic. Just tragic
Super
stuff.
Tragic.
Super tragic.
And that really rocked the organization at the time. And they remember him to this day. The Cardinals have been through it.
With
listen,
Josh Hancock.
And,
Darryl Kyle.
Oscar Tavares. So,
Oscar Tavares. Too.
Yeah.
And then how about that Jose Fernandez down in Florida Marlins?
Fishing accident.
No.
Or the boating accident.
Boating.
Yeah.
Where he was taking his big, those center consoles I always talk about. Mm. He didn't really know what he was doing. And he was flying and he hit an eddy. Those rocks that they build up to help prevent, storm surge and waves and whatnot. Yeah. He didn't see it, didn't understand the lighting and whatnot, ran right into it.
And so, hey, listen, when Darryl Kyle died, I was a young, just getting into radio at the
Baseball
time.
player.
Baseball player, Cardinal player.
Cardinal player.
Very,
So you guys
very popular player,
Yep.
very successful pitcher. And
you know.
I remember when the news broke, I was working at KMOX Radio at the time, which was still is the Cardinals flagship station. And we got word that the game was going to be postponed, Cam. And then word that Darryl Kyle had died. But there's no confirmation. The guy I was working with, who was on the air, says it on the air that Darryl Kyle died.
I remember that.
Well, we're getting phone calls left and right. The head of the radio station's calling, the GM, the Cardinals are calling.
Yeah.
What the hell are you guys doing? The family hadn't been notified.
Oh, Jesus.
And
Andy.
I'm not saying they were listening to the radio at the time, but they had. So there was, but the Cardinals had not, or Major League Baseball had not released this information yet.
Yeah.
So it was that time as a young reporter that it's always stuck with me to know that when stuff like this happens, you just leave it alone.
Leave it alone. This is not a trade.
No.
So that's why when I was going to the bathroom and I saw 10 people post that, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to believe it, but like, what are you doing posting that? And I love him, dude. Like, don't get me wrong, but it was odd. And I don't know if that's the right thing to do. And I don't want to call him out. It's all good. Like, we love PLC too.
Yeah,
He's fucking hilarious. Like, we love him. He's part of our group. We like him here in St. Louis.
Yeah.
He's got a, but I saw that. I'm like, why is he doing that? It was, and that's why I'm like, what is he? Dude, you better fucking know what you're doing. Obviously, it was true, but it just was weird.
Yeah, but it's true. But I guess
I would
you're risking it if it's not true. But also, like, you don't want to. You don't want to be the guy.
No,
you don't want to be.
That doesn't need to come from you. Let the team or.
It's an NHL player, man.
And other guys like big dogs in the media knew about it too, and they held off.
And the people who cover the Blue Jackets knew about it.
Yeah, and
the people who cover the Calgary Flames knew about it.
They all knew about it.
All the big dog national guys knew about it.
So,
and it was, but everyone,
it's all good.
left it alone.
It's just whatever. It's fine. It just sucks. It's weird, man. And the hockey community is great. And I saw the video of outside the Saddle Dome or whatever, just putting all this good flour. I mean, everybody. Just hockey sticks out front. I got a hockey stick out in my front yard right now. You're damn right. You're damn right. Just like what happened to Humboldt in 2017 or whatever that was.
Yeah.
Remember that? The accident. Actually, there's a kid that in the Paralympics right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, doing I don't know what he's doing, but he's competing.
I mean, if we're
playing
rowing charades, I would say rowing. Yeah,
rowing.
Yeah.
He's rowing.
The way you were doing it, I don't know what kind of sport you're talking about here.
That guy went through hell and back.
Yeah.
And then the kid from Nottingham that passed away because the skate went to his neck. No, but I got a hockey stick on my front porch right now. I don't know.
I just can't imagine this family having to have not one but two funerals.
I don't. So anyway, that's.
You think they do them together?
Yeah. Yeah.
Not separately.
No, you do them together, man. I mean, I guess. I don't know. They're together. And they're up in heaven, hanging out with all the rest of the hockey guys up there, man, doing their thing.
Yeah, Lanny McDonald had a good statement.
I was really good.
Yeah.
You're playing with all the big boys up there, and all those guys, and you're all hanging out. I love that. It makes me feel better. Does it make you feel good? No, it makes me feel better just hearing a statement like that he's watching down on everybody else, and they're up there doing their thing with Bobby Plager and all those guys.
Anybody who's a parent and those who aren't parents can certainly just feel for the family, man, and this type of tragedy, especially when you have somebody as public figure to the level of Johnny Gaudreau, man. I mean, he had a nickname after him, Johnny Hockey. There's a kid on Ty's hockey team who's got this little brother, and his name's Johnny. I always call him Johnny Hockey, and it's like, and Johnny Ham and Eggs or whatever they call him, ham and cheese, whatever they call him.
But we just
it's a great nickname.
We don't need to go on and on about it because we don't want to be too down with it because people are working, man. We want to pump you guys up and entertain you for the next couple hours.
Yeah,
here.
no.
So we just want to.
We're thinking about the family. We're thinking about everybody who's closest with him.
We love you guys.
And obviously the family.
Gaudreau family. We love all you guys, man. And everybody's thinking about you. We love you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hockey season's coming up, man. What we got 30 days?
I got some other things I need to get into though.
What? There's a couple things.
Well,
Don't act like you came up with some of this shit.
Venezuela
Don't fucking
thing
act
with the Hell's Angels.
Don't act like you knew. I know about this
No,
stuff.
I know all about this thing.
This shit's fucking nuts.
Although it's unconfirmed that the Hell's Angels are heading out to Aurora, Colorado for this anyway.
No, and if they are, they are. What are they going to do? Like, listen.
What are they going to do? I'll tell you what.
Show their presence. Why do they have to do that?
They outnumber.
Why are we relying on Hell's Angels to deal with a Venezuelan gang that came out of prison down in Venezuela that they let out and they said, go up the freaking U.S. and our open borders let all these psychos
They
in?
didn't say go up there.
Dude, are you kidding? They let them out of prison.
I know, but
they're in
they're
cahoots.
going all over the world.
Listen to me.
Yeah,
They're in cahoots with the fucking government down there too. These gangs, you know, it's so fucking corrupt. It's unbelievable. We just let them right in. Now they're taking over Aurora, Colorado, which is so freaking bizarre. No one talked about it until the video all came out, and people were like, "Yeah, they stormed our fucking apartment complex." And so now we're like, "Oh, we'll get the Hell's Angels to take care of it." Why? Why? That's what happens when the government doesn't do shit. Why? Wait. Time out. Why would anybody want that? Bring the National Guard down if you have to. Take care of that situation. Figure it out, government.
Some reporting to this story.
Go ahead. They riles me up, dude. That pisses me off more than anything.
Cam's got his veins are popping
Holy
his neck right now. First off, the acting police chief from Aurora, his name is Heather. Because I'm just saying the name is Heather something, and it kept saying his and him, and referring to the chief as he. So
he, him? No wonder.
No, so his name. So Heather, the police chief, is saying, based on his investigation, talking to people at the complex, that there's no proof that this even happened, that there was no takeover of the apartment complex
until the video came out.
The video comes out on Twitter, but they did the investigation after the video. So I'm a little confused. Now, the Hells Angels, who, listen, they got organized crime all over the world, man.
In every single state.
The biggest,
so you know,
one of the biggest Hells Angel leaders is an Australian who just got arrested in Dubai, dude, for some shit. So you see a lot of the stuff go down. Now, there was tweets and videos of the Hells Angels apparently like
that was
riding their, and those were proven to be false too.
How about wait? Don't be stupid. Hells Angels don't ride spider bikes.
Okay,
just so all you motherfuckers know, they're not allowed to do that, nor will they do that. So if you see a group of bikers and some have a little psych, that's not the Hells Angels.
No, they got
get out of here.
Okay, so
they've got choppers.
So those videos that were shown on social media,
it's not true.
The fact checkers from X investigated.
It's not true.
And they showed that like they're not even on the road that would take you to. It's like no.
I don't even believe that they.
So there's a lot of confusion here in terms of was there an actual takeover at the apartment complex, and
I believe
whether or not Heather says no.
Oh, did she? Did she?
No, it's a he.
It's easy to. It's funny how no one says anything until a video pops up and everybody's like, "Oh, there it is." Now I believe it.
It might be a she, dude. The story I was
cares if it's a he or a she. Who gives a fuck? Yeah. But there are a shit ton of fucking criminals coming up through our southern border. That's the bottom line.
Oh yeah.
And that needs to be taken care of, one way or the other.
Not just Mexicans.
No, they're from South America. Most of them from South America. This is getting out of control. It is, man.
Camilla just.
And how about like in San Francisco?
Just had a sit down. Kamala.
Whatever. Like she knows what's going on. And in San Francisco, first round pick for the fucking 49ers gets fucking robbed in a Walgreens or something.
17-year-old.
And gets, of course.
That's what he was, a 17-year-old.
And the thing is, the 17-year-old will get out of jail before this guy gets out of the hospital. That's the bitch of it.
So he's in stable condition, but he got shot right in the chest.
Right in
the
fucking
video?
chest, dude. That pisses
So apparently,
me off.
The 17-year-old was trying to rob him of his Rolex.
Of course.
Now, in this situation, Cam, what do you do?
Give him your Rolex.
Okay.
You goddamn. Now, if you get...
You have insurance on the Rolex, maybe?
Who gives a fuck? You give it to him.
Probably you should.
Take it, get away from it. You're with your girl.
Take
your girl is behind you. You take everything, get a purse, make sure she's still behind you, give her everything. Sorry. Go ahead. Get him away. Take whatever you
He
want.
tried to fight him.
Because he's probably just like, what are you doing? Like self-defense. Like, what's going on? He panicked
And
probably.
he's a badass, probably.
He's probably a badass. He's strong. He's confident. Doesn't matter. You're going to get shot. A little dink fuck 17-year-old loser, the way that kid is, will shoot and kill you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a fuck how strong you are. I don't give a damn how athletic
He
you
shot
are.
himself.
That I know. They're so stupid. But they will kill you. They'll kill you for a 13-year-old girl for their phone. They'll kill a 9-year-old woman for their fucking car. They'll kill you, dude. And they have no remorse because they'll go to jail and they'll get let out. Or if they stay in jail, they don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm. So
fuck that, dude. The crime is getting out of control.
dude,
Out of control.
17 years old. But
Why do you think I live way out there?
I like what the DA or whoever it was from San Francisco, what they were saying, man. Like they were like, these people will be prosecuted to the fullest
Oh, really?
extent.
Okay. Oh, really?
Hold on. And like they are gonna like
nuts.
No, they're going after this kid.
Drives me nuts.
He'll probably be charged as an adult, I would think.
Oh, put him in jail.
He's probably been in
Probably and let out and put in and let out
I thought
and put in
17
and let out.
was adult.
Could be. You could be 13 and try as an adult if you kill one.
I mean, we charge this kid as a kid. You think he's a kid?
He's a kid.
You know, he's carrying a
Shit.
gun, shooting people, trying to steal their Rolexes.
Broad daylight.
At a place, by the way, in San Francisco where there's not a lot of crime in that area.
Okay.
I'm just saying, dude.
San Francisco is riddled with crime.
San
The hell?
Francisco, they got great restaurants. The weather's beautiful. The Golden Gate Bridge. You're in Northern California. I'm not including the shit on the side of the sidewalks and stuff like that.
California is the most beautiful state and the most beautiful probably area in all the world.
Mm-hmm.
But they're letting it go to shit, man. They're letting these criminals get away with a lot of stuff.
The
And
world, really.
yes, that area, California, what it has, that little sector, that big
From
state,
mountains to
from mountains
ocean.
to oceans to desert to everything, has everything.
Okay.
It has different climate everywhere you're at.
Yeah.
It's one of the most beautiful pieces of land in all the world. in my opinion.
There's Hoosiers there too, you know.
In the middle of the state.
Oh my God.
Yeah, goddamn
I-
right. Stockton, baby. The Diaz brothers. Those guys came from fucking shit-kicking Hoosierville, boy. Damn right. Damn right. It's not all L.A.
No, it's
little
not.
pretty boys everywhere. No. There's some shit kickers in Cali, man.
Yeah.
Central Cali, Northern Cali, and stuff like that. But once you get to the big cities, man,
Yeah.
it's so expensive to live. I mean, shit. Nancy Pelosi's husband, which that whole thing was bizarro land. That's a wealthy area. You got a guy breaking in windows and doing this and doing
That
that.
was a psycho. And again, people came out on social media starting accusing this and that. And it was, that's ridiculous too, man. You got to admit, people are just fucking crazy when they,
course.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No. When they come on social media, that's,
Yeah, and they say,
I don't do that.
You know what I'm
I'll talk on here. I don't go on social media right when something goes out and be like, hey, look at this. I don't do that.
Yeah.
But I'll talk about it on here. You're damn right I will. So I hopefully this rookie, I don't know what position he plays,
Wide receiver.
wide receiver. I just hope he's okay, man. You get shot like that, you're set back for so long.
He
dude.
went
You're
to, he's grew up in Phoenix. He went to Arizona State and then University of Florida,
yeah.
where he ended up playing his final year of college football. Then I'm watching college football this weekend.
So
Everybody,
So was I.
Cam, is like a transfer from another school. I can't keep up with it. It's like,
it's hard to keep up with.
dude,
Big time. Yeah.
everybody came from another school. Everybody just transfers around from one. It's like they play for 2 or 3 schools before it's all said and done. Like every one of these kids, like it's not that hard
Money.
to truly build a competitive team if you just go out and get the players in the transfer portal.
I'm still watching.
Oh, I know. I watched my Notre Dame Fighting Irishman win.
I watched your Notre Dame Fighting
Yeah,
Irish.
'cause that's my team.
Is that your team?
I've got my fantasy football draft.
Because you're Irish?
Who should I? I got some Irish.
You got a little bit of everything in you.
Well, I'm half European.
You're a little bit half European.
Well, I'm probably.
Who is it?
Well, hold on.
Half European.
Well, my mom was born in Sweden,
That's
and
funny,
her
man.
parents are from the Czech Republic and Poland.
You're
So I'm like 100%.
you
like,
are an American, is what you are.
Yeah,
You're an American.
yeah,
You were born here. You're an Americano, dude.
right.
We
but
all have fucking,
but on my mom's side of the
ancestors in
family,
Europe.
we're 100% European, dude.
you know. But yeah, dude, it's just preventable stuff,
Like
man.
Paul Stastny, you're saying he's not. He's a 100% Americano because he was born here.
You're goddamn right he is.
Okay, he's European. Though.
That's American. He's American.
His family's all European. He's European.
No, he's American.
Okay,
He's born
I know.
in the U.S.
He played for USA.
Yeah. He wore that sweater and he wore it proud.
Yes.
Yeah, he's an American.
Yeah. He's American.
Some people don't like African American. No, you're an American.
Can you be both?
No, you're an American.
Caitlin Clark is just blowing up.
I saw that too. They are
my
bowling that poor
God.
girl.
Oh, they're still knocking her
and
down.
she doesn't give a shit. She's
No.
cool as hell. You know, remember like Angel Reese is getting annoying. Oh God,
She's annoying.
she's annoying. It's all about her and her rebounds and stuff like that. Good
Her
God,
rebounds.
she misses 15 shots in a row.
gets
and
her own
gets her own rebound. Like, you're not fooling. Then she'll post something like she's so cocky and stuff like that. Like, whatever.
Yeah,
But
Caitlin
Caitlin's
Clark's
cool.
like drilling threes and like
threes.
getting double doubles every game.
Yeah,
with
getting
assists.
getting hit like a fucking I would hit
Yeah.
somebody in hockey.
And just coming up and just complete destroying teams in the fourth
and then
quarter.
some of these like old veterans that played in the WNBA a long time and the coaches come.
Cheryl Swoops, what'd she say?
She's saying,
I love
dude.
Cheryl too. Back in the day, I used to like her a lot. She
Sure
had a
you
hell of a game.
Sure you did.
Well, she could post
Andy
up.
acts like he watched WNBA back in the day, just a virtue signal. He didn't watch a fucking game ever. Andy, just like 99% of the people, didn't watch any WNBA, but they act like they do to virtue signal. Now that Caitlin Clark's on the scene and she's getting a lot of attention, she's fun to watch. Now everybody's going, I used to watch
Cheryl
her back.
Swoops
No, you didn't.
was the best U.S.
No, you didn't.
American female basketball player.
You know
ever.
what station? What channel was it on when you watched it back in the day?
Well, I watched the Olympics.
Well, okay. Yeah, like you're watching the
NBC.
WNBA. No, you didn't.
I watched Cheryl Swoops in the Olympics.
No, you didn't.
She could use her right hand and her
Virtue
left hand.
signal right there.
She could.
You know
step
who else
out.
is
She could
annoying?
Step out. She had a mid-range
Cuban.
game.
He's getting annoying
He's
too.
everywhere.
God, he's getting annoying. Why
One
don't
day,
you have?
He kind of flip-flops
How are
all
you-
over the place too.
Now he hates Elon.
Oh, he does.
Fucking Elon's cool as shit. How about Twitter's banned from Brazil?
What do you mean?
They banned it. X from Brazil. All
Wait,
Brazil.
who banned who? Twitter banned Brazil? Or
No.
Brazil banned Twitter?
Yes. Yes. People
Well,
are
I
fuck-
wish they'd do that here.
Why? Why you? Your whole life is Twitter. You want it banned? Who the hell are you? What are you talking about? That's
Cam.
free speech. You want to hear even if they say
There's
the
other
stupidest.
platforms.
Th- Okay, so Twitter's banned, but then Facebook's not. What's the difference? Why would you ban Twitter? You could look at anything. If somebody says blah blah blah, be like, I don't believe that. Okay, then don't believe it. Or you do believe it, then fine. But do your homework on it.
Here's
but
the
it's
thing,
free
though.
speech, man.
I never know. Listen, I'm not saying completely ban it, but I will say
Ban it.
Twitter's
What's wrong with you?
There's a lot of crazies.
I
on
don't even
Twitter.
tweet because of it.
There's crazies.
I don't tweet because of it, but I still want it there.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
But
thank you.
I don't know when
Ban
I'm
it.
watching something if it's real or not.
You gotta do your homework.
Did you see that plane that was flying over like L.A. or something like that? And everybody's like, "Oh my god!" And it proved to be like an AI situation.
Yeah, it happens all the time. You gotta know.
How do you know?
You can.
You got to read
You can
the
figure it out.
comments.
You read the
I
comments. You
always
do
read
this.
the comments. And,
I do
and
too.
For people to say it's.
I do too, and that sometimes they're wrong too. So like, it's the game. But when you watch the news, a lot of that's bullshit too on all sides. So like, what you doesn't mean ban it. It just means you got to do your own homework and your research. And we all get got here and there with that stuff. We all do. We're all talking about this. We all get got here and there. But you want to ban something like that? No.
Okay, fine.
No.
Jesus.
What do you mean?
Okay, I didn't know you were so passionate about X. I didn't know you had so much.
Andy,
passion
you're the
about
one
it.
that tweets 50. Let's look at your Twitter account right now and how many tweets you've made. And you want it banned?
Look,
What are you talking about?
Well, how many?
That's your money.
How many have I
maker.
made in the last month?
Fucking million. You're on there more than anybody. And
No,
you want
I
to
am not, dude.
let's look at your account real quick.
Okay, good. Go ahead.
And then we'll see how many tweets that you've had compared to a normal
in the
fucking
last
person.
like month.
No. Overall.
And Cam's like, I love Twitter.
No, I don't.
Now he's getting bashed on Twitter everywhere.
No, I don't love Twitter. I don't, but I don't want it banned.
Okay, fine. God,
Why?
Cam's so passionate about Twitter.
Well,
I had
I'm passionate about free
I found
speech.
Cam's passion.
My passion
I
is,
was wondering what his passion was.
yeah.
It's Twitter.
No, my passion is for you not to ban.
Fine, we won't ban it.
Yeah, that's all for you. I mean, Andy, oh my God. 1 day, 2 days, everywhere, every second of the day, Andy's posting something. You'd be devastated. What would you do with your life if you didn't have Twitter? Twitter sucks though, man.
Create your
The
own
people on there.
create your own website.
Create your own website. Go ahead. They'll ban that too.
That's what they used to do back in the day.
And a lot of that's
Hey,
bullshit
can
too.
I say that Austin Matthews and Connor McDavid are becoming very, very close? He had his first captain's
So
skate,
what?
Austin Matthews, and he invites Connor McDavid to it, which I thought was cool.
That's
They're
cool.
skating together all the time.
Yeah, two of the best players in the world like to, team up and train together.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to call you and be like, hey, come out here and let's do drills together? No, they're going to call the best player in the world.
Okay.
And be playing
Yeah,
against each
and
other,
we're in Toronto, so he's in Toronto, so just come on out.
you know? And that big deal. And everybody's like, oh, he's wearing a Maple Leaf stuff and Like,
Will Leon Draisaitl be on the Oilers at this time next year?
yeah.
Well, so then Connor McDavid will be in 2 years from now.
Don't know, man.
Well, no. You're saying Leon stays and Connor doesn't?
I have no idea about both.
Because listen,
And near to you.
here's my concern if I'm Leon. And I just have a better handle on this now because of the offer sheets and diving a little deeper into the Oilers organization. Like, dude, they have no youth coming. And they're just going to keep signing guys. Like, how much money are they going to have? They're signing, giving all their money to these other guys.
I have no idea.
I mean, I don't know. Are they built for long-term success in Edmonton just by having those two guys alone?
And I like how some of the reporters are like,
And they got other good players. Don't get me wrong, with Hyman, obviously, and Bouchard. And all,
they
listen,
got good players, man.
they've got
Big
Skinner.
time. Oh,
The goalie.
how about Evander Kane? Do you see that story?
Which one?
Evander Kane's with his buddy, who's also a black guy.
Mm-hmm.
They're riding, and a guy on his bike, I guess, wouldn't get out of the way or whatever, and they
Bike?
yeah, like I think a cycle, not a motorcycle, and like I think they're trying to, and the guy like spit on him,
Oh my
spit
God.
on that car, and goes, "You guys don't belong in this country."
Oh shit.
So Evander Kane actually, I think,
Is this in
recorded.
Canada?
I think so, yeah. I think he recorded it,
He put it on Twitter.
yeah, and put it on Twitter and
Okay.
exposed the guy.
Cam's Twitter. All right,
One
let's,
of 'em.
let's get down to business here. I've got my fantasy football draft today. Okay, who should I take?
On Labor Day, don't you want to hang out like that's what you're doing?
I
Like,
know.
hey, what's
we do
Lori
it.
saying about
we do
this?
it. She's not happy.
She's probably like fucking nerds.
She's not happy.
She's walking. All you guys walking in the house like nerd. Like, can't we just barbecue and have a good time with
Yeah,
the family?
I'd like to.
Well, you got a fantasy football
I know.
where you're going to lose, so you're basically just
No,
paying
I
money.
won first place last year. Too.
I tried to do that, and I just didn't pay attention. Then I fucked up everybody because I left guys
So
out.
who should I
did this.
take? Like
Don't care.
my top. Like, give me your top 5 players for this year.
Don't even care.
Oh, come on.
Taylor Swift.
Is she still dating Travis, or do we not know?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think of ESPN letting go
RG3.
RG3 and Sam Pond?
I thought they said a couple things that went against what their values are,
Mhm.
and I thought that maybe was the reason why. People say that RG3 is not that good. I don't know. I don't really pay attention that much.
Mhm.
I just like watching football on Sundays, baby, and put that fire on, and I'm barbecuing, and the
Yeah.
puppies are laying on me, and I'm making a Bloody Mary. That's what I like to do. All the other stuff I don't fuck with. I don't gamble. I don't
No.
do any of
I
that.
love football, though. Man.
I love it, dude. I do. It puts a smile on my face.
Yeah.
Even watching Mizzou, like I watched Mizzou kill Murray State.
I know, but it was just wasn't exciting, dude.
Well, no, but they did good. Like they did what they're supposed to do. But like
Correct.
literally, Drinky Poo, Eli Drinkowitz,
The coach.
the coach, who's so nerdy. But
I interviewed him during a Blues
I
game
can't-
last year.
he was cool.
He was
I
cool
saw
as
it.
shit.
He was totally cool.
He was.
But I look at it like he's on the sidelines. They're blowing Murray State out with a bunch of Andes on the team.
He's like laughing. And stuff.
He's like this, like "Rawr! We got," and he's like pumping up, jumping up and down. Like, calm down. You're playing the Little Sisters of the Poor, dude. That's like fucking.
I think
That's
they're
like Ty playing 4-year-olds,
I think
and you're coaching. You're like, you guys. Hey,
I
calm
think
down.
Murray State's a new football program
Mhm.
too.
They are
Like you're
They're from
supposed to like
Kentucky.
beat them like 100
Kentucky,
nothing.
right? Yeah, 100-0.
You're supposed to.
They're children. You're playing against like kids
Right.
that
You got like 5-star transfers.
you have monsters on your team. Mizzou is ranked 11.
Did you see Roddy White, the former wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons, Cam?
What?
I think he ran a 4.4. He could catch balls at the entire passing tree, the entire route tree. I mean, he can go downfield. He could go outside. He could go inside.
Yeah.
He could stretch the field.
What do you do?
Really good hands.
What do you do?
He made a comment on Twitter.
What do you say?
He must have gone to Clemson because he was tweeting about Clemson. This guy was an all-pro receiver, and he said, I'm paraphrasing. I could look it up, but he was saying, like, you're never going to win, and it's a recruiting issue right now because 10 of the 11 starters on the field for Clemson were white.
Oh, whoa. Dang. He has a point, though.
And he's like, oh, damn. So then he followed it up, and he's like, let me go to Cam's favorite site here.
That I never use.
No. Cam apparently he's very passionate.
Yeah, of course I am. I know you banning fucking X because some government officials don't like what you're saying.
I thought weather was his passion.
Yeah.
I thought dogs
Free
was his passion.
speeches.
I found Cam's passion. It's
I think we could talk on here, man. Imagine they didn't like what we were saying on here and they banned us. Like, no. No.
So let me
Because they're white. That's funny.
Okay, so Clemson got too many white dudes on the field on offense. This ain't them. You mean to tell me you only got one black dude out there making plays? That's a recruiting problem, he said.
Listen, I don't even disagree with what he's saying.
So
why is it? I'm sorry.
And he followed it up several hours later. I'm getting a lot of blowback for the too many white players comment. Well, yeah, you probably would.
Yeah, but
I apologize if someone thought I was being racist, which everyone around me knows I'm not. I looked out there, and 10 of the 11 players were white, and I can't recall ever seeing a Clemson team like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Are they good white players? Are they slower?
Do you know I was the only white player on our defense?
Bunch of Andys out there?
Do you know I was the only white player in my high school to start on defense?
Oh, my God. Everybody's throwing the ball right at you.
I was.
To the right side.
I was. Number 46, man.
Yeah, man. You're a hell of an athlete. It's all good.
Played, at that time I was playing safety.
Safety?
I was.
Oh, my God. Dude, you got to find film.
I know.
Please find it. Call the school.
Okay.
And find film. Find the years.
Okay.
And find film, and we'll post it. It'll be so fucking funny, dude.
3 interceptions and a 2-point conversion.
I saw a picture. We got to post that picture, too. We'll post this picture. Andy's equipment. His shoulder pads are up to here like this, and he's just smiling. He looks like the kid from Little Giants that blows his bubbles through his nose, the little guy. Yeah. With his helmets up like this, and he's just like, I'm here.
Travis Kelce was just talking about him.
So funny, dude.
The other day.
So funny, man. But listen, that doesn't bother me.
No, it doesn't bother me at all. Now,
shit, why is there so many white guys on the team?
People are being critical, saying if it was said in
no shit,
reverse, it would be
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course it would. Yeah. It's just the different standards, and that's what that didn't bother me. Too many white guys. I mean, is there? Shit. Are they fast enough? Are they athletic enough? I don't know. I don't know. And you be like, hey, I'm Christian McCaffrey. I know.
Yeah.
He's fucking great. Travis Kelce. He's great. Gronkowski's great.
That's Cam's Twitter for you.
My Twitter. I like Elon, dude. I like what Elon's doing.
Hey, listen, we got Doug Armstrong coming on.
Yeah.
And I want to get to it because we went long with Army,
Yeah. No, we went real long. He was great.
And it's a holiday, and I'm wearing my flip-flops today, and probably going to go get a workout in.
Oh, Dwayne Wade has a new nail polish coming out.
Oh, does he? I didn't know that. Is it clear?
Good God.
I mean, where are you getting this information from?
Twitter.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Dwayne Wade, baby.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, it's cool. It's normal.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna get some for Lori?
Oh, is it for females?
I don't know. Isn't it supposed to be?
Okay, yeah. Well, I can go. Listen, in today's...
Yeah.
I didn't ask you. You didn't give me an answer, though.
Come in with your... walk into Bally's with your nails painted.
Okay, and see what happens?
Just see what happens. Just curious.
I think people do them clear when they go to the... You ever had a manicure?
Yeah, goddamn right.
Have you?
Yeah.
I've never
had a manicure and a pedicure and a facial. You're damn right.
Oh, my God.
Fixed his face.
You had a facial?
Fixed his face.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah, I need to look good.
I'd like to have a facial.
I'll get Botox, too. I shave my head. Oh, God.
It looks better shaved.
I know. I'm going to keep it short.
Yeah, keep it short.
My hair is so god-awful. It's so god-awful. Anytime I do an event where I can't wear a hat and people are filming me and shit, and then it pops up on Twitter, I'm like, fuck. God. Bald. Ugh. God, my hair sucks. Ugh. Damn you, Dad. Grandpa.
Cam, he's just like...
Man.
This guy is...
Man, my hair sucks.
Mooching off all of his buddies and his dad.
My buddies?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah. Cam was like, I got to go by my buddy's house to get my mind right.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're 40. You got to have your own supply.
I always have everything.
No, you don't.
You
don't.
are bad at chirping.
I'm just telling
I
you.
have friends everywhere. They invite me over every fucking day, and I want to go get my mind right with them. You're damn right. The kids are gone. Come over. Okay.
Yeah, but you're not bringing
My
your
wife's
own
gone. Come
stuff over there to...
They go to my house. They smoke all my shit and eat all my stuff. I don't care. I want them to come over. If I have friends over, I'll have Kate set up a goddamn charcuterie board with fucking champagne and everything. So people, Andy came over. I had this all set up, but he was, of course, 45 minutes late, so he didn't get to enjoy it. That's what I do for people.
Okay, so
I don't have kids.
Friday night or Saturday night.
Yeah.
Chloe's had a couple girls sleeping over. 10 o'clock at night, there's someone banging on the door, and it's these 3 boys.
That's unacceptable.
Okay. They're saying that they were at the schoolyard next door and that somebody who is 7 feet tall, this is exactly what they said, with a cape over them, was shining a light and yelling at them, and they were running. They ran to our house for safety. And I'm like, listen, I wasn't born yesterday. Okay.
You let them right in.
No, I took them, and I had to take them home.
Are they from Venezuela?
Could have been.
Come on in. Take what you want. You got to go to the bathroom?
Cam was like, the Hells Angels are on their way.
Don't worry. The Hells Angels will take care of it. Extort the shit out of you, too. Although they're way more... Hells Angels are organized, man. That's an organized
crime.
Big time. It's not a bunch of guys
but
in
the
a fucking...
DOJ and the FBI, they don't like these dudes.
It's not the Crips and the Bloods that are unorganized.
That's
shit.
what I would have called.
Yeah.
In California.
Yeah, you'd call them and they'd rob you. They don't give a fuck about Venezuela. As long as they're on their turf, they don't care. They're too busy robbing old women, you know, and their aunt next door. They'll get them on. They don't even know how to shoot a gun. Shoot sideways. Mm-hmm. Those fucking criminals from Venezuela, man, they're fucking scary.
Hey, congratulations to Seth Jarvis on your new contract too, man, from the Carolina Hurricanes. I like
player.
his ass.
He's a good player.
He's got swag.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's really cool.
We'll get him on.
We need to. I like talking to the Hurricanes.
He went on a couple podcasts I saw. He's cool.
Yeah, no, he's cool.
I can't wait for hockey season to start, man. I'm excited about it.
Hey, listen, we're only a couple weeks away.
You know, I'm pretty excited about it.
For training camp.
You know, pretty dang excited. Football, hockey, let's go. Fire. It's beautiful out here, by the way, today.
Today it is.
It is, yes. It's gorgeous.
Oh, Cam and I are playing golf on Thursday.
We're playing golf on Thursday.
Are you picking me up for golf?
No.
Can your truck make it all the way out there to where we're going?
I hope so. What, is it? What, are you chirping me from my truck?
Oh, my God. I always have to drive Cam when we go somewhere. When we drive distance,
I always drives a vehicle that, like, my broad would want.
No,
it's kind of true.
Black on black, baby.
It's still a woman's car, but sorry. No big deal.
It's a V8. Ain't no women driving V8.
How dare you?
What?
Aren't you concerned about the environment? It's a V8. And the way Andy drives, too, he goes 100 miles an hour. And he's spitting fucking toxins everywhere.
How dare you?
How dare you?
So, listen.
Where's Greta Thunberg?
So, one of the golfers apparently isn't very good. The other one is probably decent. So,
all right, good.
I know.
I'll be hitting balls.
We got to go out there and hit balls early.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Okay.
You worry about you.
Oh, listen.
You worry about you and not
annoying.
No.
Yeah.
Listen, these guys are probably quick golfers. You're not. You need.
I take holes off. I take holes off, dude.
Speed the pace up.
Will you bring?
No. Speed the pace up. Because here's Andy. He'll be like this. So anyway, guys, listen. I tweeted the other day, and I was like, "This is what I was talking about." Blah, blah, blah. No. Hit the damn ball. Hit the ball first, sir. Go up. It's your turn. Hit the ball. Keep the pace moving.
I need you.
Don't look for your ball because you're gonna slice it. Don't even look for it. I got balls.
I need you to bring extra balls.
I got you.
And I haven't told you this one.
What?
I got to use your clubs.
That's goddamn embarrassing. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not golfing then. No, you're not golfing.
Last time I golfed, I lost like 2 clubs, dude.
You're not golfing.
So
you're not. No, you're not. You bring your own fucking clubs and you use them.
Okay. Well,
you're not borrowing my clubs.
I'll use your driver.
At Glen Echo, dude.
I'll use your driver.
This ain't family golf.
And just bring lots of balls.
No.
Bring lots of balls.
I'll bring a lot of balls.
Because I will take some holes. I'll take some holes off.
Keep the pace going. You don't need to be talky poo every 2 seconds about a story you wrote back in the day or anything like that. Keep the pace moving.
Okay.
That's all. No big deal.
Yeah.
Talk after you hit. That's it.
Keep it moving.
And when they're hitting,
Yeah, don't
you
talk.
don't. There it is.
Yes, yeah.
God damn. It's like bringing your kid for the first time golfing. Like, no, you got to do this.
Mm-hmm.
It's like golfing with my wife's family.
Oh, God. They're listening, dude.
Maybe.
Do you know that Matthew Tkachuk last week, he says on the podcast, he goes, I'm surprising Taryn at her first field hockey game.
Yeah.
Remember he said that?
Yeah.
And like the whole family was going up there
Like that.
surprising her?
Yeah. And Virginia.
I said, I wouldn't say that because like, what if she listens? And he goes, don't worry, Strix, she's not listening.
Okay.
She listened.
Oh, no.
So Big Walt sends me a text. He's like, he's ruined the whole surprise of, I'm like, I didn't ruin anything.
Ever say no. They don't, because what I just said there, they're probably getting mad at me.
And Walt was like, I think that's hilarious how you guys say how many women are listening. I'm like,
We got
it's up
women.
to 23%, right?
We got women. Women.
They weren't mad, but it
We
was
make them laugh.
I said, Matthew, you should not say that because
No.
she's probably listening
Or somebody's going to tell her.
or somebody's going to tell
Yeah.
her.
You know,
Yeah.
there's always somebody that listens.
Well, the word got out, so there's no
That's-
surprise.
Okay, but still go see her. It'll be
They
cool.
did.
Okay. They already did.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
they're there right now. Man.
Don't act, like, listen. If you think somebody's not going to find out what you say on here, they will. You know what I mean? Like, it's just how it goes.
Correct. Oh, yeah. If there's anybody who works with Bauer, please reach out to me. Bauer, like customer relations, somebody that can help me out with something that I'm dealing with. Bauer Hockey. Please, somebody reach out.
They know.
I need to talk to somebody.
They know. Good God.
Bauer Hockey. And nice rink. I'll get back to you, man.
Hey, what about Keanu Reeves?
Keanu
Reeves signing with the Spitfires. That was weird.
Oh, here's what I was going to tell
is
you.
that? What,
The
is he
Windsor
from
Spitfires?
Windsor?
So check this out, Cam. Friday, Chloe, I'm taking Chloe to Detroit for soccer this weekend, and we're flying in early Friday. We have all day, so I thought maybe we'd go over to Windsor and have lunch. Would that make sense to do or not?
Go across the border.
Like it's not. It's close by. Right?
It's right there.
So
Yeah.
is it worth it to go over to Windsor? Can you sit outside, like on the water? Is it nice?
No, the Windsor, you're not allowed to sit outside.
No.
But in the U.S., you are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you
Do I
can.
need a mask over there?
Maybe.
Don't chirp Canada, dude.
I didn't.
No, I'm just saying.
That's my people in Windsor. Are you
Okay,
kidding, man? We got a
so-
ton of Windsor
so-
fucking shit kickers, man. I love all y'all out
So
there,
where
man.
do
You
I
guys treat me
go?
Great.
Where should I go?
Don't know, dude. It's been a long time.
You don't even
I owe
know
you.
of a place.
I was going to
Is Don
Rivers.
Cherry's
Go to Cheetahs.
still open?
Go to Cheetahs.
Remember Don Cherry's
Take
restaurant?
Chloe to Cheetahs.
I've been to Cheetahs.
Take Chloe to Cheetahs.
I've been to Cheetahs.
Take her to the casino.
Cheetahs, they used to bring in like
My buddy got kicked out of there.
employees from like Montreal and stuff like
I had my buddies up in Windsor, man, and we were partying on things,
that. Mm-hmm.
and he got out of control. And they're like, Cam, we got to get him out of here.
Who was it?
I can't say. Figure it out.
Mhm.
And then he got kicked out, and everything worked out. It was fine. It's fine.
Hey,
Partying.
guess who I just heard from?
Who?
Seth.
The motherfucker?
Oh yeah,
Oh, Jesus.
he's back.
Thought he'd die.
He's back. Sparks, baby. Use
He's
that
part of that.
promo code Cam and Stricker. You're gonna save
Wow,
lots
Sparks.
and lots of money. Hey, listen, if you have a hockey player in your family, maybe you're a men's league player. Don't be going to the hockey shop to have them mess up your skates and cross-grind your skates, dude.
Creep out
Don't
your
be
daughter.
doing it. Oh my. Okay, that's a whole nother part of it. Like I'm not even bringing up that part. I'm
Well,
just
I
saying,
just did.
I'm just saying, don't go to the hockey shop. Get a Sparks. It's the best investment you'll ever make, Cam. You'll save hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands.
Do you
of
want that
dollars.
weirdo touching anything you own?
Like I said, he works there.
Then he looks at your credit card number.
Stealing credit cards.
He might. He's killing animals. My parents are like, I don't know. What? He's a good kid. Did he get what? You see the fucking basement?
I know.
You see the bones in the back?
Uh,
You go through his room? Have you gone through his computer lately?
the history.
Check out the history. Just see what's going on. That's all.
What's he have in his basement?
Animal bones. Weird
Mm.
sacrificial fucking designs. Like fucking weird. It smells weird.
Well,
down there.
and all the girls in the neighborhood are like
Smells like
scared of him.
pneumonia. Why? What is that all
Oh
about?
God, what does that mean?
It's got barrels down there.
Yeah.
What's in the barrels? We have families like He's a chemist.
I was
no, he's
thinking
not.
like he had Pizza Hut and Code
Why?
Red.
He's got
Nothing
Cheetos in
to
his
do.
belly button. Why are there barrels? What's in the barrels down in the basement? You didn't ask your son that? It's like Jeffrey Dahmer.
So, and he works at the hockey shop.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the guy sharpening
And
your
you and
skates.
Chloe go up there?
Chloe doesn't come to the hockey shop.
Well, what if she's on the road with you, man? Like, what if she's...
Yeah. So when you go to the hockey shop, that's who could be sharpening your skates.
Psycho is what he is.
Although there's this guy at the hockey shop here locally who always wants to talk me out of everything I want to do. It's like, he's like, no, I wouldn't do that. You need this instead. I'm like, oh, okay.
Shut up.
Can I just get in and out?
No, you want to buy things here?
I know. He's like, no, you need this model. Like, I'm like, it's like Ty needs new skates. He's like, you need this model because his foot's probably a little wider. And like, it's like
I know myself. Thank you.
he was
That's-
telling me I was getting too stiff of a flex.
He knows all about Ty.
He's like, you. This is way too stiff of a flex for his age.
No, I don't know.
It's not 100 flex.
Ty could figure that out himself at that point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But yes, so I met Seth actually. He's working
good.
there.
It ain't
Hey,
good.
avoid Seth. Get yourself a Sparks. Get it today. Sparks.com, baby. Sparkshockey.com. Sparkshockey.com. Best investment you'll ever make, man.
Damn right.
If you have an up-and-coming hockey player. Illinois Recovery Center, baby.
It's my boy right there, Chrissy Pondoff, Eric Conley. Love you guys, man. You guys do damn good work over there in Swansea, Illinois. You guys know somebody. You know somebody. You might be the guy. Might be your family member. Might be your buddy that has an addiction that needs fucking help. They will help you. They don't mess around over there, dude. It's not a fucking country club. But you go in there and you get work done. And when you're out, you're fucking ready to rock and roll and go on to the next part of your life. Get that out of the damn way. Chrissy Pondoff and Eric Conley will help you out. That's the Illinois Recovery Center. We love you guys.
Yeah, Illinois Recovery Center. Hey, listen, in IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com. IRC, baby. And if you know somebody that needs help, reach out.
Just said that.
Oh, did you say that?
Just said
I
it.
just want to make sure.
Just said it.
Just reach out to us.
Just said that. So
Because we got these holiday parties coming up not too long from now, Cam. We're now into fall season. Can you wear plaid like flannel shirts now
yeah.
and boots?
Yeah, I like flannel shirts.
Can you do it now?
Yeah, sure.
It's not too hot.
Not today.
Okay.
You know, you don't know in Missouri, man. I have another 100-degree day.
Hey, our first forum sweepstakes continue. We've got a lot of people
Yeah.
registering right now, man, and I love it. And you know what? Keep them coming because we're nice guys. We'll probably have more than one winner.
I hope so, because there's one that I really wanted to pick
I know.
because his family was
Cam's like
involved.
pushing it.
No, because of this cute little kid.
Well, I gotta draw it out. I gotta close my eyes.
This cute little kid, though, was like,
Don't make other people feel like they're not gonna have a chance.
I'm just saying.
because we're gonna have more than one winner.
If you touch the heartstrings a little bit with a family member or something, like, when you talk about your kids, I get like, I love
Yeah.
your kids. You know what I mean? So like you get them in the mix and you send pictures and I'm like, oh, I want
Yeah.
you to win.
Okay.
So that's
We've had a lot of people register. And all you have to do is send us your order number, man. You just order something from First
Yeah.
Form and let us see your order number. You're automatically included in the sweepstakes where you will receive a surprise pack from First Form and Cam and Strick.
Yeah, man.
I might even sign something for you.
Andy will sign something for you. Maybe his football card. I'd bulldoze you so fucking bad.
Firstform.com/Cam and Strick. You have to use our link though.
Imagine Andy trying to wrap me up when I'm fucking
Cam.
going.
You know what I would do?
God.
I was like, Hillary, you go high, I go low. Okay.
Hillary Clinton. He would. And he's got the
Did
bumper
you
sticker.
see-
I'm with Hillary.
Did you see Kamala and
Tampon.
you can call them that anymore?
I just did.
They did a sit down together.
Yeah, I know.
So
Fucking
why was that
riveting. It's
real quick?
riveting.
Why was everyone saying it was a disaster?
Because that's what you say when
You're
the
on
other
side.
party, of course, man. But
Was it a disaster? Like I watched it, I was like, I don't know. It wasn't like
What'd she say to you? What'd she say? Did she say what she's going to do? Anything about the border? Did she talk about that? Huh?
She said she's criminalized more people than
Yeah, weed smokers. Yeah, we know. The African Americans in the city. We know. What else? What are you going to do?
I haven't really gotten that far
Okay,
yet.
exactly. Me neither. I still don't know. Trump's Trump. Kamala, don't know what
Do you
are.
think getting Kennedy's a game changer?
Big time. Damn right. I like RFK, man. He's a little odd here and there. Guy's been through
only
a lot.
10 weeks away
You know, it's gonna be crazy.
to the finish.
It's gonna be crazy.
Do we have debates coming up or no?
Hope so.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
Maddie confirmed the debates.
But you never know.
Okay.
Still,
Well,
you know what I mean?
I'm reading different things. Hey, so again, use our link, firstform.com/Cam and Strick. Dude, I'm seeing this hat launch commercial everywhere of you.
Of me?
You did one without me when I wasn't even there. You sat at your locker.
They want me.
You sat at your locker.
Was my crotch hanging out?
I think it might have been.
Son of a bitch. Anytime the God.
It's not a good look for the brand.
Did my wiener show?
It might have been.
Oh.
It's not a good look for the brand to have you do that.
Because I sit like a motorcycle, and sometimes your wiener hangs out.
Like you got a chopper.
Yeah, like I'm on a chopper. Like Hell's Angels taking care of business, going to Aurora, California. My dingling's hanging out.
Twister's on his way there.
Twister's there. I would call Twister if I was in a jam meet, just so everybody knows.
He's on my top 5.
He ain't answering your call. I would call, if I call Twister right now and said, Andy has me cornered
You want to
and I need help.
Do you want to do a contest and see who answers?
For Twister? No, I don't want to bug him. He's working his ass off.
Okay, well, I was gonna put you on. We were gonna test it out. We
both call him at the same time?
No, you call and see if he answers, and then I'll call and see if he answers.
I don't know if I want to do that.
Okay, fine. We gotta.
I don't like bugging people.
We gotta get him. We gotta get him. We gotta get him.
That guy's probably fixing a goddamn windshield way out in Defiance somewhere.
He's got Christian.
Working his ass off. No, he's working his ass off. Like, I'm gonna bug him. Like, hey, we're doing the bug.
Yeah.
He'd be like, okay, man, cool.
Well,
how about we get him on again?
Fine. I'm down.
Let's do that. Let's go back out there and we'll have him.
So Hat Launch, the America's number one source for customized hats. I'm going to Facebook and I keep seeing this video. We went there and filmed a commercial. I had to leave and Cam does a second commercial.
Well, they like me.
He's
surprised they didn't want you to.
Hey, dudes, you need one of these shirts.
I'm surprised they didn't have you do more stuff.
Surprised either. We'll have another shoot.
You know, I think I look scary in the other one. Where I act like I'm beating up one of their guys, you know. I think I got my scary look on me.
Hatlaunch.com, baby.
So.
Order those hats and do it today.
Do it today.
America's number one source for customized hats. So who would need a hat? Like
a baseball team to a fantasy football team to this to that to whatever. Man, I mean, anything.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right, I want to talk about a new sponsor we have, Cam, because Blue Note Roofing. Say hi to David Novak.
David, what up, baby? How you doing, man? What's up? I like the name of that your company too, man. Blue Note. What's up?
Yeah.
Right here in St. Louis. I love it, dude. Those roofers are shit kickers, just so all y'all know. Okay, they're shit kickers, especially in St. Louis. You're on that roof, man, and not to mention you got a bunch of people coming in and out that work for you that just fucking either they're lazy. It's hard to have a good crew. Oh, that's cool as hell.
Yeah. See that? Look at that.
Yeah, he loves the Blues, man. That's why we love you.
Oh, yeah. Huge hockey fan. Long-time season ticket holder, man.
Damn right.
And they do everything, man. Roofing, siding, fascia, soffit.
Yeah, soffit.
Gutters, dude.
Gutters, dude.
I need that gutter guard is what I need.
Probably.
The water's kind of coming up.
And then it goes right down, and that's how you
into
flood.
The foundation. You don't want that.
And it floods your basement.
Yeah, so I need to get some gutter guard.
Yeah.
I also need someone to come power wash my...
You could do that yourself.
And stuff.
You could do that yourself.
Really?
You could do that yourself.
You want to come?
There's some things you could do yourself.
Okay.
Save you some money.
So call Dave today. And welcome aboard, Dave. Love having you here, man. 314-920-5713. 314-920-5713. If you need anything, dude. Siding, roofing, soffit, fascia, gutters.
Yeah.
Repeat all of those.
Siding, gutters, roofing, fascia, gutters,
soffit.
God.
Blue Note Roofing, baby. Ask
Welcome
for
aboard.
Dave.
Welcome
Ask
aboard,
for
Dave. Love you, buddy. Right on.
Proper Cannabis, baby. Use that promo code CAMAndStrick20 and you'll save 20%. A lot of people have been using the promo code, and they've got drive-thrus too. You can just order online, and you can shop online, then pull up, and it's a drive-thru. Don't be like Cam, who's in his 40s and still doesn't even like have his own. Go into his buddy's house to steal his buddy's stuff or his dad's stuff. Okay, I gotta go to my friend's house to get my money. Get your own stuff. I gave you a discount code. Get it today.
And he keeps all like the little things. He doesn't give me any like gift cards and stuff like that when it comes to this stuff. So he keeps it all. Then I'm like, I'm going to my buddies to get my mind right, and he makes fun of me.
Hey,
I want to get the fuck out of the house too.
what card are you referring to?
I mean, little gift cards and stuff.
Don't have a gift card.
I don't believe you.
Oh, I tell you, I don't.
You told me.
It
You
came,
went. No. You told me that they gave you a
it
gift
came
card,
in the mail.
and I go,
No, I didn't.
well,
No.
it came in the mail. So you're
No,
you do.
there was like, if you sign up online, they'll send you a 25% off, like, postcard.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's
sign
all
up
good.
online, you get a postcard. And then if you use the Cam and Strict 20 on top of that, dude, you're saving like 45%.
Damn right. It's a good deal. It's a good deal.
Cam and Strict 20, proper cannabis.
Get that mind right.
Get your own supply. Don't be like Cam.
And by the way, I like all you guys sending me pictures of your chill zone.
I got a bunch
Getting
of
your
those
mind
too,
right too,
man.
man. I love it all.
that.
It doesn't have to be fancy, dude. It's just your chill zone.
Hey, whatever your chill zone is,
Whatever
your
it
chill
is,
zone.
dude. I love it. Love it, guys.
I'll send
And
you,
girls.
I'll send you mine today from the fantasy football draft.
Nerdville. Poor Lori.
Poor Lord.
She's like, what the fuck is this?
Oh, my
All I
God.
want to do is chill my back deck. Got 15 swinging dicks. Fucking don't even know who they're fucking picking.
Benchclearers.com, baby. Look at this, badass. Hey, they got hoodies and they got pants and everything, too.
Yeah.
So, like, it's going to be cold,
Yeah.
and they got windbreakers.
Windbreakers and sweatshirts and stuff like that. I got some cool
Hoodies
AHL
are sick.
sweatshirts. Yeah.
I know. They got
They're
all the
pretty
AHL teams and all the NHL teams
Yep.
because they are fully licensed.
You dang right. You dang right.
What does that mean when you're fully licensed?
It means you're fully licensed.
And it's breathable.
Yeah,
So-
they got good stuff.
So, like, when it's hot and you want to represent your team, how else do you do it?
Well, there's no other way. I mean, just go to these cats right here.
Yeah.
Bench clears, man.
They've
And
got-
even today, when it's 70 degrees, you can still use that.
Look at all the retro jerseys
Yeah.
they've got every team, man.
Yeah, they're great.
Use
They
the
are
promo
great.
code Cam and Strick, or you can use the promo code BOGO50. It's going to save you 50% off on the second one. Buy one, get one, 50% off.
And you want to get a bunch of these too.
They've got thousands of 5-star reviews, dude. Little John's rocking these. Panarin's rocking the Rangers one.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, dude.
I saw all that. Yeah.
Get it today. Bench Clears, baby. Benchclears.com. Cam at Bellman, you have no.
Swinging dicks, none of that. Not what Andy's house is full of today. Nothing like that.
It's not at my house.
Good.
I'm not hosting it.
Shouldn't.
You'd love the food that's there, though. Chili and like a lot of different.
I'm sure I would.
Burnt ends.
You're not gonna like it. What are you gonna eat?
Something.
Are you like this when you walk like? Oh. Good.
Hells nah.
I crushed that, man.
Oh, hell no.
But no, go to Bellman. Wintertime's coming.
Where's
You
it
might need your
located?
truck. Troy, Missouri. Troy, Missouri.
Say hi to Danny
Dale.
Boy.
Danny, Kenny, goddamn, get back goddamn work. It's actually Monday. They're probably not open today.
I know.
I
Buick.
hope not.
Oh, they're probably still working though somewhere.
I know.
Probably
These guys
playing
work their ass off, dude.
Buick-
And on Saturdays.
Buick GMC on one side of the street. I'm looking at that Buick.
I like them Buicks.
I'm looking at the GMC Denali, actually. We saw one in the parking lot the
It's
other
it's
day.
funny because anytime you are, oh my God,
Chrysler, Dodge,
Come
Jeep,
up with your
Ram
own
on
thing.
the other side.
come up
baby.
with your own thing. I like the GMC Denali trucks, man. They're awesome. They're really, really
If
cool.
you had to get a car from one place, where would you go?
Bellman,
Thank you.
damn right. My people right there. Kenny,
Dale.
I'm watching you, Kenny.
Dale.
Dale.
Danny boy.
Danny, what up? We love all you guys, man. Right.
Cam, I need a swimming pool, dude. I want a swimming pool.
Go to Shilly. Talk to Ryan. He'll hook you up. You have a perfect backyard.
No.
Perfect.
Laurie doesn't want one.
Really?
But I think they cost like $200,000.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Can you finance it? You just take a loan or something?
Actually, I don't know if I want you having a pool right now, too, because I don't want you being stressed out.
We would do it by the pool, the show.
Oh, I'd do that. If you had a pool, I'd be at your house. You got to give me some incentive to
What
come
would you invest in, a pool or the ice rink?
Oh, God. Fucking pool, man. I'd be
Same
swimming in
here.
that, man. I'd be swimming that in like fucking
Shilly
November.
plastering. They got that Pebble Tech technology.
You got to have that. And they'll fix whatever, too. man.
5-year warranty.
Things go bad. Things go wrong with pools, like all kinds of different stuff. It gets scratched, all this stuff. Those guys will come out and fix it.
Plastic
and they will
doesn't go
do-
wrong.
They'll do a damn good job.
Plastic
That's why they've
doesn't
been
go
around
wrong.
for a long time in St. Louis. That's Shilly. Check them out.
Hey, all the big dogs. What do you call the big dogs?
Big dicks.
All those guys who have the sick-ass pools, and I ask them, who did your pool? And they'll be like, Shilly.
Yeah. Well, he's a real deal. And he's gigantic in St. Louis. And they're big hockey guys too, man. Daddy coached me in AAA. Great guy, Dave.
Hey, Shilly Plastering, man, tell them we sent you, and get in on our first form sweepstakes, man.
Yeah.
All right, Doug Armstrong. Hey,
It's a good
never
interview.
heard before interviewing. So
Yeah.
we've had him on before, but this one's even different, man. Loved having Army on. You're in for a treat. Get to know one of the best GMs in the league even better.
Love you guys.
Yoink.
Yank.
The Cam and Strick podcast is brought to you by First Form, baby. Use our link and do it today. www.firstform.com/Cam and Strick.
Get jacked now. They are the real deal.
Get that protein, check out the apparel, eat those bars, and drink those energy drinks. Firstform.com/Cam and Strick.
Yeah.
Now on to the interview. I asked you on the way in, I said, do you love your job every day? And you said yes.
Yeah, I don't know how you couldn't. I mean, you get to be involved in a sport that you love, that you're passionate about, get to work with great people, and it's always you never know what's around the next corner, so you keep pushing ahead and trying to get to that corner as quick as possible, see what's there.
You golfing all the time?
In July, I golf a lot. In August, I golf a lot. Yeah, I don't usually. June has been busy. It's actually June's way busier when you're shitty.
Yeah.
You know, when you're good, you get every other day off, and you can hit some golf balls. You can do certain things. But when you're not in the playoffs, you got to go to the combine. Then you do interviews. Then you get to the draft a little earlier. And so I do golf a lot in July and August. And then September, right around Labor Day, I'll put them away again. But I do love to golf.
Hey, listen, how far in advance do you look at things before you make a decision? And we don't want to spend the whole time on the offer sheets, but obviously that's been a big topic of conversation. But when something like that happens, it's in August, but this is not something you just come up with a week or two in advance, right? This has got to be something you're thinking about several weeks, if not months out, right? Because there's got to be some type of strategy as to when you throw this offer out there.
Yeah, obviously you look and see who are going to be the restricted free agents. You know, that's easy to do. Everyone does that. And then for us, this started on about July 2nd or 3rd at prospect camp. You look at teams, and it's not just who the restricted free agents are, it's where their salary cap situation is.
Yeah.
And then you see if there's potential opportunities, and then you monitor it. You know, on any, or for us on this particular, you want to do it because you want to acquire the players.
Mm-hmm.
And so you break off into groups that, okay, how does this help our team? And then you have another group be the who you're going to offer sheet and say, okay, this is how we can match this, is how it won't hurt us. So you try and go back and forth and poke holes in each guy's reasoning. And then you get to a date where there was things on this one, like there's the arbitration window that if you have an arbitration, you get a second buyout window. And so we wanted to wait till that arbitration went by, because you don't want, if you're going to do something, then be able to trade for a player, take them to arbitration just to have a buyout window that opened, and that doesn't close till early August. Then you look at the cap situations, not only this year, but moving forward. And is it better to do a 1-year deal or a 2-year deal? I think in the past, signing bonus would have gone into the equation, but now, these 32 owners are all flush with cash, so they don't get scared away by signing bonus. And so it's just more of an idea of, what gives you the best opportunity to acquire the player that you want, because that's, as I said, 100% is to acquire the player, not to harm someone else.
100%.
Of course.
That's why you make the offer. You see some of these offer sheets that have been thrown out there in the past, it's almost an easy match. And typically when a team's going to match, they almost come out and say it right away, or certainly let the players know. It's interesting because and the second year was huge. Who knows, maybe they do match if it's a 1-year offer. But I said to somebody with San Jose, I said, why didn't you do that deal closer to the deadline? You could have maybe gotten a second-round pick or a better pick. And he said, well, they kind of made it clear that they weren't going to match anyway, so it wasn't a deal that was done to create space to keep Philip Broberg or Dylan Holloway or whatever. So did you know pretty much right off the bat that they weren't going to match? Like, when do you find that out?
No, Stan and I have a really good relationship. I consider ourselves friends over the number of years. Like, we've played Chicago so often, and we run into each other at the morning skates, at the practices. I got to know his father really well. We have a good relationship, and so when I called him a half hour before it went in and just told him this is what we're going to do, and wanted to give him time to tell the people that he reports to, and then I said, you and I can talk shop in a day or two. Let him, these are, he wasn't expecting it or not expecting it, but there was no sense he had 7 days. There was nothing that had to be done in the next 20 minutes. And so he and I talked as the process was going along, and he had to go through a lot of the process on what he wanted to do and how he was going to go about doing it. And at that point, you're eager to find out what happens, but I think experience shows you have no control over it. So I actually didn't really think about it because, he had the rights to our second and third round pick, and he had the rights to both players at the time. So he had all the cards, and we couldn't play any of them. So I didn't actually worry about it.
Are you like, Kyle, I need my
Yeah,
pick
Doobie.
back? And he's like, I don't know. I don't know if I can do this because I got something else going. Because if you don't get that pick back,
Yeah.
and from what I understand, like there was a chance maybe you weren't going to get it back, right?
Yeah, Kyle and I talked about it a couple of weeks before, and I told him I needed it. I needed that pick back. I didn't go into great details why, but I mean, he understands. He's a manager
You
for
don't
a
live
reason.
under a rock, does he?
But I had to pay a premium to get it back. I understood that. We were willing to pay some form of premium, but we weren't willing to go overboard because if you end up matching both those players, then you've given up another asset for no apparent reason. And so we felt we did a deal where if they didn't match, we would have had a second round pick this year. And again, you can in your own mind, you can make any deal make a lot of sense. So I said, well, really, we got a third for Joseph so it didn't really cost us anything. So you can justify whatever you want to do to try and make sense. But at the end of the day, if they had have matched, we would have been okay with the assets that we gave up to get our second back.
What can you say about these two? And I know you've talked before to the St. Louis audience, but we're talking to a lot of different people. Like, so what you guys see in these guys, and especially in the playoffs when they did play? What can you tell everybody about these new two players that you guys acquired?
Skaters, in a league that benefits skating players, they're both dynamic skaters. Both have good size. Both have I like what we've been able to do this summer. You get Joseph that's played with Crosby, you get the other Josephs that's played with Stamkos, you get these two guys that have played with McDavid. They know what good players do to have success, and I like having that in our locker room now. That these guys are going to come in and they understand the work ethic that great teams and great players do to have, and I think that can rub off on younger players. We have winning players in our team now too, and I think you get a group of that together, it can grow. But in these two particular players, they're 22 and 23, 2019, 2020 draft. And probably if they weren't in the Oiler organization, a team that was striving for a championship since they've been there and been right up against the cap, because that's what it does. Like, these players were assigned to the American League for honest reasons too. I'd rather you play a lot down there than play sparingly here. But also, when you're down there, it doesn't cost me any money cap-wise, and it creates cap space. So they were brought along at a good pace. I think that Larry Plow had the line, you can never have a player play in the minors too long, but they can play in the minors not long enough. Mm-hmm. And I really believe in that saying. And so I just think that they're ready to start defining who they are as NHL players, who they are as men, quite honestly. They've grown into their bodies. I think they fit into an age bracket with what we want to do, and I think we've improved our size and our skating quite a bit this season from last season.
Yeah, Larry used to always say that. I've never seen a guy come up or stay in the minors too long, but I've seen plenty of guys come up too quickly, which can ruin a player, right? I mean, you come up too quickly, they get their confidence, and then all of a sudden teams are maybe looking at them differently because they're not ready and whatnot.
Yeah, so I think that it's just you can't rush maturity. Mm-hmm. It is what it is, and I got to say, I think I believe I made a mistake with Jake Neighbors that first year.
Bringing him up,
of keeping him here.
Oh.
So I learned this in Dallas, and then I sort of broke my own cardinal rule: is that regardless how good they're at training camp, it's always better for a player to start in the American League and come up than to start in the NHL and go down and then come back up. And
mentally, that
you're like, wow, I've made it, and then. Yeah, and Cam can attest to, like, the first 2.5 weeks for veteran players, it's getting your feet wet, getting all that. And then the first 2.5 weeks for a young player, it's a Stanley Cup. So a young player comes in and he's at this level, and a veteran player comes in, he's at that level. Mm-hmm. And then as the season goes, it goes like that. And so that first year with Jake, we sent him down. We started here. His minutes went from 13 to 11 to 9 to healthy scratch and then we sent him down, and it took him not because it's just human nature. I let myself down, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he got going, he never looked back again. But it probably cost us and cost him a couple of weeks of development. If we just had to send him down and brought him up 2 weeks later, we might have a different player. I'm not saying it always works like that, but that's always something that's stuck in the back of my mind. And it's hard because you want to reward great training camps. I mean, you have them for a reason. But rewarding a young player with a great training camp can also put you in that spot that you don't want to be in when you have to send them down. So, and I think we're going to probably wrestle with that more than ever before with the young players that we have coming, and we're transitioning these guys into the league. So it's something that we have to work on and figure out. But it's a puzzle that the pieces always seem to change.
Yeah, they're here and they're like, this is great. I'm here. I'm on the top of the mountain.
I made the team.
And then all of a sudden they're there like, wait a minute, I'm eating Subway again in, Springfield, Massachusetts. And now you're like, well, what do I do? What do I do? So then they get called back up, hopefully. But it's tough. But what do you think about Jake Neighbors? Like, what do you expect out of him this year? He had a hell of a year last year. The fans love him. Seems like a leader. Like, what do you expect out of him?
Yeah, he reminds me like when I was working in other organizations and I saw Dallas Drake, the Blues fans love Dallas Drake. They love Barrick Jackman. They love those guys that they could be going to the arena or they'd be going to the mine. What they're going to work with is a lunch pail. And that's what Jake does. I'm a massive Jake Neighbors fan. He has all the qualities of a player that you want, but more importantly of a human being, someone that cares about his teammates, that does the right things all the time, that plays for the right reasons. And, there's going to be bumps on the road. I mean, it's not going to be the shooting percentage can't last the way it lasted this year. It's not, it's not statistically possible, but he's gonna score goals from in tight. But he's a player that doesn't need to score goals to affect a game. Again, when we drafted him, and this is using your experiences, he reminded me a lot of the way I heard our scouts talk about Brendan Morrow when we drafted him. There might be more talented players that go after him, but there won't be players that impact a game more that go after him. And that's what I think of Jake. I'm really excited for Jake because I think he can be a core leader in this group of guys that as we're trying to build around.
Yeah, I hear he's in great shape too. Apparently he's really bulked up. He looked like a big kid last year, but he's even bulked up even more. All right, so Kenny Holland, you guys are close. Obviously he's now with Edmonton. You're on a golf trip with him. And listen, there's not that many secrets, but let's be honest. You know more about Kyrou and Thomas than Brad Treeliving does, who's in Toronto right now. He's your guy, and it's a little bit different when you have him in-house. But, you scout these guys. They were drafted in recent years. They're first-round picks. Not that many secrets. You're watching them play in the NHL and the American League. But still, how much do you talk to a guy like Kenny who knows him to make sure that the commitment and the investment you're making is going to be something that pays off?
On this situation, not much.
Really?
Only because the last couple of years, as the Oilers have been trying to acquire talented players, we've scouted these guys in a couple of drafts in a row. When they've called about our players, I mentioned Broberg and Holloway, and they said, no, we're not trading them. So they knew that we liked these players, but we had enough information, and I didn't want to put a friend in a bad spot. Now, normally you would call a guy that used to work with an organization, but he had only not worked there for 2 days. Like if it had been 2 months, it would have been a lot easier to call him. But they had just been to Game 7. They had just lost a heartbreaking series coming back like that. It wasn't the right time to call him and say, "Oh, sorry about you got not winning the cup and getting so close. Now tell me about all your players." It wasn't the right timing. But you do your research on that. This time I didn't need to because we had done so much research on these players before, and I wouldn't do it to anyone, not just Kenny. When you've come off something like that, you need time and space.
Mm-hmm. Is this a move you think you would have been able to make in your infancy as a general manager? Does experience really come into play for something like this?
I think it does. You never know. Like I think when you get into anything, you think you're ready, and then you realize you gain experience and over time. I think we would have done it before, but I don't really know. I just know that the work that Ryan Miller and Tim Taylor and Alexander Steen did to help us prepare for this, the process that we went through, the number of times that we talked. Mr. Stillman was highly involved in making, because I said this not only affects how I'm perceived potentially, but how you're perceived. And we both came back to the same thing, is that we work for the Blues fans. We work for the city. And we can't be concerned of what other teams or other manager, other people think about us. We don't want to be, we want to do what's right for the Blues in a classy, honest way and within the rules. And we were checking all those boxes. It was within the rules. It's nothing was underhanded about it. We just tried to do what was best for the St. Louis Blues. And, you read a lot like cap space is important. Cap space is king. Well, if you have cap space like we had and you don't use it, well, then it's really worth nothing. Mm-hmm. And so we wanted to maximize our cap space. We haven't had it for a long time. We probably won't have it for a long time moving forward. And I hope our younger players are going to acquire us to pay them a lot of money. And but it's sort of all the moons have to align correctly for you to have the cap space, for the right opportunity to be there, and for you to make it work. As I think I've said before, I wouldn't have done this if I didn't see a path for it to work.
Mm-hmm. So, all right, this past year, you can never anticipate what's going to happen. But like when you fire Craig Berube, for example, that's your guy. You guys win a Stanley Cup together. You got to make that difficult decision. The next game, the fans are booing Jordan Kyrou. Everyone's all worked up. They're up in arms. He comes back and scores a hat trick the next game after that. But still, what's going through your mind when you have to make a decision that is going to be unpopular with the fan base? You got to trust your intuition. It's not something you probably want to do because of your relationship with the coach at the same time. But this is why you get paid the big bucks, man. You got to make these decisions. Was this one extra difficult? And what was going through your mind when you see one of your best young players getting booed on the ice the next game?
Yeah, I would have to say that was the most difficult part of it, because he made a stupid comment. Yeah. But he ate that. He owned it. Yeah. He understood it. And I think it could have been anyone that, people were ready to show their frustration towards myself for doing it, and it just happened to be him that said it. And I felt bad for him. We talked about it the next day. We actually had a laugh from Bull Durham. I showed the guys the video, but I said, okay, this is how we answer all their questions, God willing, one day at a time.
You showed the whole team?
I showed the whole team.
God willing.
Whose idea was that? You came up with that on your own?
Yeah, I said, this is how we're going to answer all our questions the rest of the year. It's going to be bad for you guys, but yeah, and I certainly, you don't want to make decisions like that. You try and extend the window as long as possible. We had some losses last year, we played Detroit undermanned and they thumped us here. We played Columbus they got back and they lost the night before, and they were tired. We were fresh. They beat us. I think, we weren't finding any traction, and Craig and I still talk all the time, and we're good friends, and I hated doing that. And I understood the fans' frustration and anger, because I was angry at myself for having to do it. But then I go back to what we always talk about: what is best for the Blues organization, and if you think this is the best thing, you have to do it. And someday Mr. Stillman is going to. I think I consider Tom a friend now, not just a boss. But I also understand that even as a friend, he might have to come to me and say, you know what, it's time, and you got to accept it. And that's what I love about Craig, and that's what I love about Hitch, and that's what I love about people in our sport, is they don't take it personal. They understand. They're disappointed, they're angry, they're frustrated. But all after time sets in, if they were a friend before, they're a friend after. And if they're not a friend after, they weren't really a friend before.
That's why I got to give the Blues fans a shout out with that too, because they were hard on Jordan Kyrou. Andy's the one to ask a question in the post game, just so everybody knows. But now they go out and they cheer him. No, they let their frustration happen, but then they're back and they cheer them. So I mean,
And he rewards them.
and he rewards them.
with
Like
with
that's all you have to do. Go out
hat-trick-
there and work. You're
hat-trick.
fine.
Well, I mean, I remember, and again, I'm not sure what causes it, but like Jay Bowmeister was a lightning rod here, and,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
was watching these games going, I'm losing my touch here because I don't see why they're hard on this guy. And then we win, and then he gets hurt. Seriously, and it's like we're never going to win because of Jay. I said,
I know.
like 6 months ago, you guys wanted him right him out of town, and now we can't play anymore. And like Bo is a really good friend too. Like after over time, but that's the one part I think that's a hard train to get on, the love train, and the hate train's a hard train to get off.
I think Cole Parayko went through that too a couple years ago, and then this year he comes out and he's playing great hockey, and then it just switches back over.
But the flip side of that is it's worse when they don't care.
Exactly.
Passion is awesome, and negative passion, it's not good when it's directed at you. And I'm not naive. I read the chat boards. I read all this stuff. There's things out there you don't want to read, but it actually does make you stronger. If you I try and channel it the right way, and it makes you stronger. It makes you work harder. It makes you work smarter. It makes you, like, when someone writes something, if it's just mean, like, I hope bad things happen to you. But if it's, you did this wrong, they go, maybe he's got a point there. Maybe she's got a point there. Maybe I got to reassess how we're doing it. So I think but if you take it personal, and that's where, now I'm off on a tangent now, that's where social media scares me for some of these younger people, because it takes a while to understand that you can't take it personal. You can learn from it, but there's a lot of people that get dragged into the personal part of it, and it can ruin lives, not just in sport, but in the world, and that's no good.
You should see what happened to him the other day. He wore a cutoff T-shirt, and his arms didn't look that jacked. He got bashed for like 3 weeks straight. Felt bad for you.
Hey, you just got to overcome it.
You did, and you did. Look at you now. You're wearing long sleeve.
You just got to overcome it. But hey, real quick though, when you do an offer sheet like that, because Edmonton had no idea it was coming, I would imagine, and I'm pretty sure there were people in the Blues organization who you talk to on a regular basis that did not know. So how important, and the agents did a hell of a job, which you can't always trust nowadays, right? The agents sometimes will. Nobody said a word. And who did you tell? Who knew about it?
Well,
who's your who's the first guy you go to, like, with the organization? Who are you going to first? Who's your right hand man for something like that?
It changes over the years. It started out as Davey Taylor, and then Peter Chiarelli. Peter still has a huge voice. Scott Mellenby has a huge voice now. But on this one, we have a restructuring of our staff now. So it was Alex Steen, who's going to be the manager in 2 years. It was Ryan Miller and Tim Taylor were assistant managers. I kept it to that group, and then Mr. Stillman was in on the first meeting, because the first meeting, if he says no, I don't. That's not who we are or what we want to do. Whatever it was, there's no sense going through all the work, and then at the end, I sort of walked through with those. I think I took them off guard because it was at the development camp, and I said, before you guys leave today, can we have a chat? And I said, like, here's a crazy idea. Let's rip it apart so we can all just go on with our summer. And they said, well, it's not that crazy. And then, okay, well, now you go do this, you go do that. But we kept it to that group, I would say, right till the end. And then the agents were I said, this is a concept, but the concept's not going to work until after arbitration is over. And you're trying to placate them. Like, if you get a deal you can't turn down from the Oilers, I get it. Like, you got to do what's best for you and your client. But here's the overall thought process that we have, that we have cap space. We're not giving away our first round pick, because I don't know what it's going to be, but we have a second and a third if I get my second back. So you give them enough information to let their imagination start to run, and that's how it went on. And then as it gets closer, I personally don't really finalize stuff till probably 24, 48 hours before, because you're right. You are playing with fire when you let too many people know too far in advance.
Are you aware of the two other teams that are also interested?
No, and I've been around long enough that there's always two other teams.
Yeah, no shit.
there's always two other teams, and when you're getting a free agent, it was you. He just didn't, and one other team, but you were second. No,
It's always like a
everybody's second. There's always two
course.
other teams.
it's always like a big high school football or basketball recruit. They always say the two schools that comes down to this school, like which is
They'll
a
fake the
powerhouse,
hat.
Yeah,
and the local school, right?
Yeah,
The local
yeah,
school is
yeah,
always a
yeah,
finalist,
yeah, yeah,
Even
where
though
I
they
live,
probably
yeah.
But what about Tom? Like in the ownership group, like when you run past Tom, run things past him. Does he say no often to different ideas?
No, not no.
Okay.
But he doesn't want answers. I try and guide him through the thought process, and he's been very understanding that if I am passionate about it and I can sell it, he more than not is gonna respect it. Now, there's things that we haven't got there, quite honestly, where he said no, but like it's not just a hi Tom, we're gonna do this, okay, bye, I'll talk to you later. Like I don't say he reports to, he is responsible for that information to his partner. So I have to give him that information, but the way that he has structured the hierarchy of this organization is, for me, it's and for Alex, it's going to be, you couldn't have it any easier because you only have to talk to one person. And then what he does with that information is above my pay grade. So that out of my grade, out of my control. And so I just deal with Tom, and he's great, but he's thorough, and I love that about him.
Some of the best advice I've ever been given, and I'm not good at it, I don't always take it, but is to always think long term, and that's something a GM has to do, which is not always popular with the fans. When you trade away a Ryan O'Reilly or let a David Perron leave or an Alex Pietrangelo walk or whatever, and they're all different situations that lead to it. But how hard is that for you sometimes to know that you got to make what's best for the team down the road versus trying to win the headlines for that day?
Yeah, to me, that's not hard at all. I don't know why, because I know that there's it's not an emotional, to me, it's not an emotional event. I remember the year I think we lost to San Jose in the semis, and we traded Elliott. And it was just like, are these guys idiots? Well, we ended up with Jordan Kyrou for that.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see that. Or David Backus left, and then we ended up using that money and bringing in different players. And if I'm a fan, I get it. That's how I would be. Like, I don't know, let's say baseball. I don't know baseball well enough. I know who plays for the Cards now. And the guys I know leave, and they bring in guys I've never heard of. I'm going, what are they doing? But I'm a fan. The guys that run these franchises aren't fans. They're trying to build something that's sustainable. So when O'Reilly left or Perron left or whoever the local the local player is at the time, I get it. It's not popular. It's not supposed to be popular. But I think what you want as a manager is that the good things the players get credit for and the bad things you get blamed for. I think that's healthy, because not one person has ever paid one nickel or bought one beer or ate one hot dog or bought one souvenir because Doug Armstrong's the manager. They don't. They do it because they want to see Jake Neighbors. They're going to want to see Broberg. They love Walker. Like everybody can find someone to love, and it's not a guy wearing a suit sitting in the press box.
No, it's just like
Or the media guy.
yeah, or not to bring up like other players from other teams, but like the fans love Trevor Zegras, for example, and he's got a general manager that's trying to put together a team that can I think
in life,
top 10 in highlights, right?
Most people love things that they don't have, and so he's available, go get him. And then you get him here and you start to scratch through and you realize that maybe there's more to it. Our job is to understand that there's more to it before we make the trade. But I understand that, and that's the beauty of sport. That's why we want to be in it. That's why you can't take the criticism too serious or too personal, because you have more information than most people, and you just can't share that information because it sounds like you're whining or you're trying to protect your tail because like you're trying to justify what you're doing to people. I have to justify what I'm doing to Mr. Stillman, and that's really it. And that's the one person I try and justify.
Yeah,
it to.
you may know a situation of players dealing with injury-wise or stuff like that.
Or
that
outside or
outside
whatever.
Yeah.
or whatever. You know.
Hey,
it's
did you
interesting.
watch, like, so you guys sit down and watch, like, I know you're watching every single game, but do you like to watch the Florida Panthers and you're like, okay, this is what they did. This is what we need. How can we get to a certain point where they're at? They just won the cup. Like, how does that go down?
I know what you're asking.
Copycat league kind of thing. Like,
yeah, I try and stay away from that. I look at bigger trends, like Final Four teams, Final 8 teams. I think, Cam, when you played, and you played for a great organization, in Jersey, like Final Four was a good year, and then you go on and you win. It's a great year. Now with 32 teams, if you get to the round of 8, you've had a pretty good year.
right.
And so what do those 8 teams have in common? Are they skaters? Are they this? Are they that? It's not what did the winning team have, because it's easier to copy a blend of 8 than one team, And so, but we do watch for trends, and it's funny that, one of the things that we talk about is we want to get better. You can't get better in anything at 7-8% of the time. It's 2 or 3% of the time. But what I found, you can get worse 2 or 3% at a time. And if you do that 4 times in a row, all of a sudden you're worse. And so, we're trying to make sure that we're getting better or staying neutral at worst, but trying to get better. And I think when I look at this summer, I was talking to someone driving over here, and it was Hitch and I were talking. I said, like, we're a little bigger, we skate better, we're a little more determined on the forecheck. And before these last 2, what we did this summer wasn't sexy, but we all felt pretty good about it, Like they're in the right age group, they skate, and now you bring 2 more, and then you look now at the number of first round picks we have on our reserve list from 19 to 24. It's like tops in the league, or in the top 10% of the league. Like, it's something now that I hope the fans can get behind, and because it reminds me a lot of when John and Larry brought me here in 2008, that it was a team that had a lot of pieces, and then someone had to take those pieces and build a team. What I'm trying to do is build a team now, but make sure Alex has all the pieces so he can build it. Now, I think, again, I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. I'm not writing off that this team's not going to surprise people.
Yeah. You really think? Yeah. I mean, like even before these last 2 moves, like, people don't know much about Texier, for example, and they have no idea how he's going to impact the team. I mean, you have an idea probably how you hope he'll impact the team, but again, where everybody's going to be slotted. Now you bring Holloway on board. Like, it's going to be, you're going to have some real competition come training camp that probably didn't exist several weeks ago.
Well, one of the things that Steen and I talked about today, we were at the rink looking at the big board, is there's competition in different areas too. I don't know why. I could be way off base. I'm excited for Bolduc, and I'm excited to see what, like, if he's going to get an opportunity in camp. Now, if he comes in, like, he's not one of those guys that we have to send to the minors, because when we call him back up, like, he's been in the minors, he knows, like, but he's not taking a 3rd or 4th line guy's job. He's taking a top 6 job. And so so there's going to be competition for him with a guy that thinks that assumed he was there, and then there's certainly competition with the rest of the group now. And then there's certainly competition on the back end.
Yeah.
So internal competition is strong. And there's also, like, one of the things we talked about today too, is, like, if you look around the league, 2/3 of the teams are at the salary cap or within a couple of $1 million. So if you're a veteran player making a lot of money and you're a good player, but you go on waivers, the likelihood of you getting claimed is very small, because the team would love to have you, but they can't fit into their cap. And the net to a team is 0, because, so let's say, I'm going to pick a number that's crazy. Let's say you send a player down that's making $15 million. So 14 counts against your cap, but you bring up a guy from a rookie that's making $1 million. That's still the same cap hit for our team. So there's no, so the only guy that loses is the guy that goes down because he has to move away from his family and all that other stuff. There's no really net effect to the team itself, and that's the competition, and that's what the system the way it is now in the NHL, with so many teams playing near the upper end. Waivers, players don't get claimed. Certainly, good players don't get claimed at the rate that they would have in the past because there's just not that teams don't want these players. It's just, I don't have space for that player. And then, okay, well, I'll trade him. Okay, what are you going to give me to eat half of that money? It becomes, so the negotiations in a trade on all these things have changed over the years, and I find it exciting. And we have this year and next year in the CBA, then we all get to learn what a new one's going to look like.
and I like Boldu too, and we still haven't really even seen him be put in a position where he can utilize his best skill set, which is his shot, and he's a shooter, and he hasn't gotten much power play time and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's going to be exciting. What scares you about guys as they get to a certain age? I mean, does it get to a point where a player reaches a certain age where you are afraid to commit to them with term, and you just would rather turn the page and move on and bring in some younger players?
Yeah, it happens all the time. Like it was funny because we were talking when we signed Suter, and like, you know, he's freaking 40 years old. I said, I get it, he's 40, but and this is my logic. I'm not sure it's fly. I said, like, he's 40, but he played at 39. He played about 19 minutes, 82 games. So at 40, he doesn't go from 19 minutes to 0. He might go from 19 to 15. But he's not going to go from I can play 19 to I can't play in the league. So that's one that doesn't scare you as much, even though because of the age, because it's a 1 year and you know what he did last year. But Father Time is undefeated, and you would love the perfect world where the legs went when the paycheck stopped, but it usually doesn't go that way.
Exactly. But he is the kind of guy that could skate, seem like, for a long, long time.
Yeah.
He's that type of skater.
Yeah, but when you're signing a 32, 33, 34-year-old guy to 7-8 years, then you know, and we've done this in the past. When we came out of our successful runs in 19 and 20, though we didn't have playoff success in 20 because of the pandemic, or I should say because of the pandemic. We didn't have playoff success. But you're willing
Could have repeated.
Yeah, but you're willing to absorb the end of a longer term deal because the sweet spot's still there for 2 or 3 more. But to absorb the end of a long term deal and you're not maximizing the first 3 years. I'm not. That's where you have to justify the investment to the owner.
I know, because sometimes people are like, well, look, you know, like you let a player go, and the next year they're still playing at a high level, but they also sign a 4 or 5 year deal. So, like, where are they going to be in years 3, 4, and 5?
And where are we going to be in years 1 and 2 of them here?
Yeah, exactly. Are you still bringing Ryan Suter on board if you knew you're getting Broberg? Like,
yeah, I it would have changed the dynamic a little bit, but when I look at our board now. Again, I'm not the coach, so I don't want to tell him where. But in my mind, if Broberg has a chance to play with Falk, and then if you got a guy like Suter that can bring Kessel along, like how can that be bad? Or bring Prune along, or work with Tux, or P.O. Joseph. Like, there's that competition, you know. And the reality is, Suits is now looking over his shoulder at Tux, P.O. Joseph. Like, it's good. Internal competition is good.
You have to talk to a player who's that age to make sure that they're truly still want to play and still are as motivated as you need them to be.
Yes. Yeah, before we sign them, for sure.
Yeah.
Because you at least this is how I think. I'm not saying I'm right, is that you've made life-altering money.
Yeah.
You've been a successful player. You're 50. Like, why do you want to do this again? And then you hear the passion come out that, you know, I love coming to the rink. I love working with young guys. I want to change. I want to add to my legacy. You know, I want to change the ending of my last season. Whatever it is, you know, it's not. I don't know. I just don't want to go home. You know, like, you know, you can sense.
I'm not ready to be at home with.
I'm sick of my kids.
yeah. So, and when I talked to Ryan, you could really sense his love of hockey and his just, you know what. And Cam, again, you play with you. like he doesn't need to do this. He's got more than enough, and he's got a family. He's moving away from his family. They're going to stay in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Like he's, and I credit his wife and I credit his kids to understand how much he loves the game, and understand that probably everything they have, you know, they've been all part of it, but they're giving him one more opportunity to live out his dream.
And he's going to do it. He can still play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I asked the same questions. I'm like, you know, why would he want to come to St. Louis for 1 year? He's
Yeah.
made a ton of money. He's played over 1,400 games. Like, where is the motivation? Obviously, he hasn't won a Stanley Cup, I don't think, right?
Yeah.
So maybe,
Could be.
you know, but again, you're not, I don't think you're making any promises
Yeah.
that the team's going to compete for a Stanley Cup this year either. You never know, right?
No,
mean,
I
you
was
never
clear.
know.
I was clear on how I think he could. Why we called him. Like he didn't. We called him. Why I thought these are the players. Here's how you can affect an organization. Does this interest you to affect an organization like this? And he goes, actually, yeah, it really does. And so we work through a lot of that stuff. And again, you can. It doesn't take long when you talk to somebody to get to know why and who they are and why they do things.
I'm watching this video real quick on social media yesterday, and they're being kind of critical of the goaltenders that will be options for Canada and the upcoming, you know, four nations and whatnot. But they're naming goaltenders that have won a Stanley Cup, comparing them to goaltenders from like the United States, for example, maybe who haven't won a Stanley Cup and maybe have struggled under pressure in the highest of pressure situations. Why do you think Binnington doesn't maybe get the respect around the league that maybe he should? Because he's coming off a great season, obviously won a Stanley Cup, came in and set the bar so high for himself, followed it up with an all-star season the next year. What did you see from him last year? And what have you seen from his maturity, and how much have you talked to him behind the scenes, you know, and gotten him to maybe reshift his focus versus maybe where some of the criticism has come from?
I thought he played really well last year. I thought he had a good year. I thought the year before, he was the victim of loose play on our own end, like too many backdoor tap-ins. Like as you know, like I got the shooter, you take away the back door, so he's got the shooter, and he looks like an idiot because the guy passes and the guy puts an empty net, and like, what's Binnington doing? Well, you know, so. But I've been very impressed with how he's altered his mindset on what's important in a game. The importance of doing his job and not getting sucked into the other thing. And you love the passion and you love the desire to be one of the guys, and I'm there for you. And if there's a fight, I'll get in it with you. If things aren't going good, I'll change the momentum of the game. But it doesn't work from that position for whatever reason over the long haul. And I think one of the things that we've seen with Billy Smith to Binnington to any goalie that plays like that, the referees get tired of it. And then so all of a sudden, the bump that Marty Brodeur gets is a penalty. A bump that Hexy got wasn't a penalty. You know, you can run Hexy over a little bit more. You can run Marty over in that era. Binner's now dealing with that because, and I think he does a great job of turning. Like I thought there was more. There was more last year attempt to get him off his game. I thought he did a fantastic job of staying in the moment, and I think if he can do that for another year, like that doesn't, you know, it comes on quick and it takes a long time to leave. Yeah. And I think if he can have another year of staying focused on the task at hand, then they're going to stop running him as much, and the referees are going to say, you know what? Yeah, that's enough. Like he's paid his penance.
Exactly.
Let him get his one fine.
Well, you want once in a while.
Yeah,
but if he
but that quite honestly, like he was upset about that, and he talked to the league officials about it because he said, like, that's not me. You haven't watched me all year, and to their response, well, that is you. That's, you know, and he said, but we'll watch it a little closer. But to their mind, and I had to say to Benner, like, this is what we've created, and now let's keep changing the narrative. And he's done a great job, and I'm really proud of him.
He told me at the beginning of last season, he said, listen, I'm 30 now. I got married. I'm having a baby. I think he just almost, it's like I was talking to Chris Pronger yesterday about players having an alter ego and stuff like that, and just how you have to use your alter ego sometimes when you're a player. It doesn't really, signify who you are as a person. But, sometimes you need to create that to give yourself an advantage on the ice. And, maybe he did a little bit of that, but I think he came into last season saying, it's almost a new me. I'm a more mature Jordan Binnington who's now 30 and having a baby and married and whatnot. Maybe that worked to his advantage. I don't know.
I think it worked to his advantage stopping the puck, but like just because he says it, like the other 31 teams and coaches aren't going to say, "Oh, no, don't hit him this game."
Yeah,
he's
no,
changed.
lay off
Yeah.
But
he's trying hard.
But he doesn't need to be the guy to pump the team up
No,
anyway.
no.
You make saves. Like, you don't need to be the aggressor. Like, other guys got to kind of do
right,
that too.
and we love his passion for
Yeah.
it. But right now, he knows what we need. We need stellar goaltending and a calming influence. Like he can calm us down. We need him to calm us down more than we need him to build us up.
Oh, yeah. But it's funny because we bring all these guys on and they all have, they don't really know him. Like a Jason Zucker, for example, has an opinion. He was funny about it.
Yeah.
I said, be careful what you say. You're a free agent. You never know. He's like, okay, never mind. I love Binnington. But then Matthew Tkachuk, who's been skating with him the last couple of weeks, it's like, I absolutely love this guy. Like, I would take this guy any day of the week.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to get to know the guy and know where he's coming from too, because he's got it on tape that he can just be completely dominant at the same time and carry a team, which he did for you guys a couple of years ago. So
yeah, no, I'm as I said, like I think universally around the hockey world, when they look at Binnington and Hofer, they certainly don't see us anywhere lower than the middle tier, likely in the top tier of tandems. That's a good place to be.
Hofer's got legit number one potential, right? Down the road.
Yeah, he's you just look like where we drafted him. He went to the World Junior, didn't start, ended up winning the gold medal. Like, he's a gamer. He went to the American League, stole the net, who he stole it from? Lindgren.
Yeah.
Look what he's doing now.
Right.
And it was great competition. So we're excited about our goaltenders today and of the future.
Hey, in 2019, when at the beginning of the year, when you made all these moves and stuff, and you're just, you're looking at the board, are you like, this is a team? Or were you like, we're solid? And then all of a sudden, you get to the point where they started putting everything together. Like, what was your mindset going into that year? Looking at the lineup, what you've done over the summer, were you like, this could be a Stanley Cup team? Or were you like, no, we're going to be good. We just got to put everything together. Like, what was your mindset leading to that?
Well, we had been good for a number of years there, and then we missed the playoffs by a point in the last game of the year.
Vladdy got hurt and all that.
Yeah, So, like, I thought we were a good team. When I saw it on paper, I said, okay, we're gonna compete with at that time Chicago and LA. Like, they have to think of us as a guaranteed playoff team. Someone's going to pick us to win the cup. Some are going to pick us to make the finals. Some are going to pick us to get to the semis. No one's going to say they're finishing 12th in the West. So I had a good feeling that team could compete. I do remember meeting the guys in Vancouver in individual meetings in December saying, like, we're not totally like giving up now, but you got to turn this around. Like, there's too much invested and there's too many good assets here for this just to go down the drain. So if we don't turn it around, maybe I have to start a retool quicker than we wanted to. And to their credit, and Binner coming in, and I thought Craig coming in was fabulous for those guys. But I said after we won that year, I was much more shocked with our October, November that year than I was with our April, May, and June. I wasn't surprised at our April, May, and June at all. I was actually shocked at our October, November.
When people ask why you have given the head coaching job to Drew Bannister, like, my first answer right away is, well, his record, right? Because that's what's most important. And then you look at some of the statistical categories that are truly a reflection of coaching, goals against him, special teams and whatnot. What did you really know about him when you brought him up? And did he have to convince you or sell you on anything? What made you lean towards him to be the guy to take things over?
Well, I think we'll go back to when he was at the Sioux when we were hiring an HL coach. He had done a great job in the Sioux, unorthodox way in the Sioux, the way he played, the way he did things. He's an outside the box thinker. Wasn't everybody's cup of tea. And I remember I was actually in Denmark at the time, and I called Tom and I walked him through this may or may not work, because he's a different thinker. He teaches the game differently. He wants the guys to play a little bit differently. And Tom said, let's take a flyer on it. And then so when we had to make the coaching change, we'd been to the finals in the American League. He'd done everything we'd asked down there. There was no sense I had no desire to bring a guy in from the outside for 4 months and then start a search. It was disrespectful to Drew, and it just didn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so a little bit like it was with Craig, we brought him in with the understanding of we're going to do a search now. You could have the job for a week. You could have it for a month. I don't know. You don't know either. So again, control the controllables. Just come to work and work. And then as we were doing our search, I got to know Drew better and watch Drew better, and we as an organization. And you start crossing off names that, well, that guy's no better, that guy's no better, that guy's no better. So if you had a list of 20, by the trade deadline, you have a list of 4. And then you watch them go out through the rest of that process. And it wasn't easy, the rest of that process, because, I for the first time I've had to do this, I said, I want to see these guys play. I've never gone in and said, I want these guys to play. That's the coach's job. But we were out of the playoffs. And I said, this guy has to play, and I went to a couple of the players and I said, this isn't on Drew. This is on me. So I want you to know, I don't do this, but these young guys are going to play.
Like Perunovic, for example.
Well, and Diener and Boldy. They're not coming out.
Yeah.
Boys, they're not coming out. We are officially out of the playoffs. So
Let's see what we have.
Let's see what we have.
Damn right.
But he has to navigate through the room. It's easy to go in, kick all the cans over, walk out and go home, and then he's got to sit there and pick up the garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought he did a great job doing that. But I liked his demeanor all the way through. I thought that he made guys uncomfortable. He tried to change things that he didn't like, and you saw some of the he's an interim coach, relax, big fella, And to his credit, I assume, and we've taught, his mindset was it might only be for a week, but I'm going to be me, and either me is going to not get the job or me is going to get the job, but I'm not going to try and do what you want me to do to get the job, because then when I do what I want to do and I'm here, it's not going to get along. So I got a lot of respect for Drew because he's his own man.
I think coaches are getting fired too soon.
I do. Now I'm the leader at it too, so it's hard. It's hard. Yeah, I do. I think it's an easy exit. I also think that dynamics of a team change quicker too. So you bring in a coach to coach one, not style of play, one growth pattern of your team, and then you're in a totally different growth pattern in your team, and the coach would say, "Well, I didn't sign up for this," but it's hard, and so we'll go through like Craig is a great coach, and he did a great job here, and he was loyal to the guys, and there was a transition going on too, and I respected all that stuff, and but something had to change, but I do, with Hitch it was the same thing. Hitch and I go back so long, and I have so much respect for him, but at that time it had run its course. We had been to the semis, we came back out, he was pushing for one last thing. The guys were turning him off a little bit, and you hate to make those decisions, but I wish we were more I think why you don't probably see it. You can see the Tomlins in football and some of these guys is because they change players at a drastic rate because of non-guaranteed contracts. In the NHL, if the core players all got 7 or 8 year deals and they turn on the coach,
It's hard to turn over the team.
yeah, they win. And so I don't know the answer to it. I don't know why it happens. I sort of have a theory, like if there was, how many coaches fired last year? 7, 8?
Something crazy.
There'll be 7 or 8 managers fired this year.
Really?
And then next year it'll be 7 or 8 coaches.
We don't see too many managers fired during the season, though, do we?
Maybe not, but you'll see a lot. Like you go back, it's usually a cycle where they get a bunch of managers one year, they get a bunch of coaches one year, they get a bunch of managers one year.
It's like a seesaw.
What do you mean by an unorthodox coach? When you're saying that Drew's kind of unorthodox with this?
Well, he's it's hard to put into terms like he's quiet. He's a quieter coach. He's analytical. He's a deep thinker. Stays to himself a lot, but is a good communicator. Like he's just a little bit different. I think the way he ran the things up in the Sioux, they were a fast-paced team. They played loose, analytically driven with Kyle Dubas up there, and so he's just a little bit different than your old school coach. But there's many different ways to get to the top of the mountain, many different paths, and he might have taken one on the back of the mountain, but he still has a chance to get there.
You still feel the same way as you always have about these no move clauses, or have you come off of that a little bit? Is it worth losing a player over it, or have you? People have this perception that's why you lost Petro. You can kind of clear the air if that's.
No, he was offered a no move clause.
Yeah,
it wasn't until the end.
Yeah,
but I never really understood the. People probably don't understand why I was against it. And I didn't really understand why it was that big of a deal. If you're that good of a player, like, really? You're worried about a no move clause? and that's just not Petro. That's all players.
Oh, yeah.
And again, I've lessened it way more. But just I work for the owner, and I could never just justify. My mind is too narrow for this part. Is that we give you a no move clause. You could walk into the owner's office. You could take his family photo, smash it on the ground, say whatever you want to him, and walk out. And nothing can happen. There's not a thing you can do. Like, you have more power than the owner. I don't get that.
What if Steener, who's going to have that player's mentality, what if he is like, hey, I think these guys deserve the no move? Like, and will you, as president, allow? Is he going to make those? Like, how's that dynamic going to work?
I think it's going to evolve. I think that ultimately he has to have the final say in the player decisions when he becomes manager, because he has to live with them. I think when I talk to other guys that have done this before, I decided to take this challenge on, is that there's going to be a part with a new manager. Like, I look at Jimmy Rutherford and Patrick out in Vancouver. Mm-hmm. Like, Jimmy's experience is here, Patrick is here. Again, at some point, Jimmy's not going to he's not going to be needed to the same level. Mm-hmm. Brad Treliving and Brian Burke in Calgary when it started out. Yeah. I think Steener and I, like, there's going to be a lot he needs to learn, and I can guide him. Now, I'm going to tell him, this is my philosophy on these things, but you don't have to agree with it. Like, if he comes in on January 2nd of 2026 and says, I want to give 5 guys no moves, I said, this is why I wouldn't do it. You're a team, but you got to live with it too. Mm-hmm. And it could be signing bonuses. It could be a whole host of things that I hold differently. I'm not saying that I'm right with that either. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that I'm smarter or I have a higher degree of understanding than anybody else. It's just, I just could never, and I still have a hard time coming to grips with telling somebody that they have more power than the owner.
No, I get that.
I get that too.
Yeah.
I do.
Are you, like, what led to that decision to go ahead and make that announcement now with Alexander Steen? And are you going to be ready to no longer be a GM, even though you're president and you're going to be running the hockey department? So I don't expect too much to change, to be honest. In my opinion, you may completely different. You're going to be obviously in the mix, so you'll know. But in the first year or two of Steener taking over, as long as you're president of the organization, but are you going to be okay at that stage of your life and career just to kind of pass the baton over and not be in the mix like you have been most of your adult life?
Yeah, I would say, and again, I go back to with people I worked for in the past and things that they've said, and they've stuck with me a long time. And Bob Gainey, who I have the utmost respect for, he and Bobby Clark have sort of molded my vision on how to build a team and what it's all about. And Bob Gainey had always said, it's always better to leave the party before they ask you to go. And I think in a couple of years, it's the right time. It's the right time for the players. It's the right time for the organizations, it's for the right time for the marketing department, the finance department. It's as you guys know, it's a team, and my rhythms are now understood by everybody in the organization, and so they know they're comfortable knowing what I'm going to do. They're like radar on MASH, they get it done before. Well, that's good for a while. Then it's not good. Then we're all thinking the same way. I think Steener's going to come in with fresh ideas, with a fresh outlook, with a new voice. His inner circle is going to be different than my inner circle. So there's going to be a changeover. And I think change is good. I don't think but it has to come at the right time. And my belief is, I've been here since 2008. That's a long time in any industry to have one leader. And when Tom and I discussed this, professional sports might be one of the only industries, billion-dollar industry, that has no succession plan.
Yeah.
like the guy at IBM doesn't walk in and say, then the board goes, oh geez, now what are you got any ideas?
What are we doing?
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, it's interesting. How do you view the media? And I asked this because I had an executive tell me a few years ago he feels like the media has gotten too much power now because of the evolution of social media, and there's so much stuff put out there, and we see that in football too. I mean, these insiders, they put something out and it just goes crazy. You got these talking heads, they have these daily talk shows, and they do have a lot of influence in the respective sport that they cover. How do you view the media in terms of your role as a president and general manager?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I respect the media. I respect the job that they have to do. I always think that the players are the show, and so you don't really need to hear from the manager, but maybe twice or three times a year. The coach speaks day to day. The players speak day to day. They're the show. The things that I do aren't a day to day. They're not day to day topics. They're visionary things. They take time over. And so if we were to talk day to day, I expect you to ask me my vision moving forward. Well, I don't want anyone to know my vision moving forward.
Yeah.
That's how we can keep it within ourselves. And I think this is media in general. The thing that has changed, and again, you date yourself, is with the internet and with as many people involved now, the lack of accountability and credibility of what's written or what's talked about has never been higher. So there you can, and I remember having this with one reporter, and it took us a long time, and he's a bigger name in Canada, that he mentioned one of our players' names, and I hadn't talked about that player ever. And he had a family, and I called him, like, well, what are you doing? Like, why would you write that? Like, this guy's got a wife, he's got kids. And he goes, well, it's just part of the industry. You should, if he doesn't like it, get out of hockey. I'm like, okay. I mean, and I'm like, wow, that's a different way to think about it. That you had he didn't care whether it was right or wrong. He didn't care whatsoever. He didn't care if it hurt the guy. He didn't care. And I think there's a lot more of that now, where people just want to be the first, not correct, just the first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when they're not correct, you don't see many retractions in the media that, geez, I really screwed that one up last week. The guy wasn't even close.
Yeah.
It's just.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Like, they never.
You think the media has too much power? Like, do you think owners, like, if the media comes out, they have an opinion on a team that can influence the thought process of a media person who's coming out and saying they got to fire the general manager, got to fire the coach, trade this guy, whatever?
I think that's no, because that's just the strength of the organization. If you're swayed by the media, then you're probably going to be close every once in a while, but never consistently there.
Mm-hmm.
I think a good manager, a good coach, a good owner, they chart a course, and then they go that way. And if the waters get rough, you you fight through it. You go a different way. You tact. You do something. You just don't like say, all right, let's go back to port. You know, and so I don't think that. I think they have the power that we give them, if that makes any sense. And again, the power is different. Like I see it with the Cardinals here. But what I see with the Cardinals is about 50% I saw what the Cowboys went through when I lived in Dallas. And so no matter how bad I think we have it as in hockey in either of those cities, it compared to the people above in our town that we work with. So I understand it. I think, like, you know, I'm a sports fan like you guys are. Like, you wake up in the morning and you go to one of the 47 ESPNs and you can see talking heads and all that. Then you got FS1, then you got the local, then you like.
It's also good though for the brand.
It is.
People are talking about you. People are, you know.
Yeah, you know, and we talk about it. Like, if they're not talking about you, that's way worse. Yeah. That's way worse when they don't care.
What about the fans to you? Like, what do they say to you? Like, if they come up to you, like, what's the most consistent thing they ask you when they see you out and about?
Mostly just they're really polite. Like, and I've been fortunate to work in polite markets. I've never been like accosted or anyone's ever been rude to me or anything like that. It's more hang in there or thanks, or like when you win once too. Like I'll never forget 2019. Like, I hear that and I say, yeah, well, I'm trying to, because I just keep saying, well, the next one's even going to be better, because that's how we have to think. It's not what you did before, it's what you're going to do next. But like the St. Louis fans, like, you go to the BM area, you go to the PGA here, you go to the golf tournament, the senior golf tournament here. Any sporting event they have here, it's better than where they're going to next or where they came from. The sports fans here are fantastic, and the Blues fans are at the top end of that. Like, when I got here, we were not. But they were passionate. We weren't a very good team, but they were a passionate fan base. And then that was the most enjoyable part of the ascension, was feeling like you were going on a ride with people you didn't know.
Yeah. So what are you selling? Because all these guys nowadays, they want to go to these tax-free teams. They all want to go to Florida, which last time I checked, Florida has just as many roster spots as you do, so they can't take everybody. Vegas wants everybody, you know, but
Nashville, maybe.
You know, you got Nashville now in the mix, and then maybe you get into the original 6 teams and some of the traditional markets.
We talk about that. So you take the 5 state taxes, original 6. So you're starting at, if you do everything perfect, you're 11th on the list.
Yeah,
everything perfect.
If you're perfect,
if
you're the next team.
And so, but you embrace it. You know. So what we need to do, and what Alex and I need to do, and that Alex and I and our entire staff is, we need to sell winning. We need to sell, like, I asked Steve Ott when he got here, you know, he's like, tell me about St. Louis. He says, you know what, Army? Like, you got to get players with a year left on their contract to move to St. Louis, see the city, and you have a chance to sign them, because you're not going to sign them as free agents. Because St. Louis is something that you don't, it's like a gem. It's a hidden gem. And we know what it is, but nobody else does. But when you get here, the number of alumni we have here, they don't want to leave. It's a great place to live. It's a great place to raise a family. You know, but when you watch the news, like the first 10 minutes of the news, you know, it's not what happened at the candy shop. It's bad news.
Hardcore. But
that doesn't, you know, it's not who we are and our values. And when you get here and you live here, you realize this is a great, like, when I got fired in Dallas, my kids were in grade going into 7 and 9, and I said to my wife, like, we have to pick a place where we're comfortable raising our family. Yeah. So I talked to Paul Cavallini, Bobby Bass, and like people I knew from that had played here, and they had other opportunities.
What Holy tell you? Hey, they got
the tequila's great.
But it was one of those places that I didn't really think about. And we've been here ever since, and we plan on this to be our home when we leave too. Like, this is a great, great city. And so what we want to do is, we'll always be a great city, but if we can build a winning team, then players will stay when they get here.
How come you were so calm when all those rumors were going around about you, about Toronto being interested in you? You were like, when they were looking for a new general manager, like, I thought you'd be annoyed by a lot of the noise, and I just felt like after talking to you about it, like you just didn't really care. Like it was like, okay, whatever, it's out there.
Yeah, again, control the controllables. Like I don't know how it got out there. I don't know if it was true. I didn't, I was just here, and yeah, your ego feels good. Like I'm not like we're all human.
Yeah,
Like it's a freaking Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah,
and someone thinks that I would have done a good job. Yeah, your ego, but I wasn't looking to go anywhere. I didn't want to go anywhere. And it's like any news cycle. 5 days later, it was gone, and it's like it never happened. They hired what it was 5 days total between they fired the guy and they hired Brad.
I mean, it's over then,
and it's over. Yeah. So
is that weird seeing Chief like have a press conference in Toronto and have like everyone in Toronto celebrating? Like, your guy essentially like now he's there.
Well, you got to go to Toronto. Like they can't knock you down unless they build you up.
Right. That's true. That's true.
But I love the Toronto media. I love that. I love, again, the Dallas Cowboys, that market. Like I've never worked in a market
Yankees,
like that, where the pressure is that high. Now I do some stuff with Hockey Canada, but it's the best of the best, and it's a 2-week event. Like I talked to Brad, who I consider a good friend, and he said he worked in Calgary, it's a hard Canadian market.
Sure.
He said Toronto, it's not even the same ballpark as Calgary. It's that much more intense. It's that much more.
Can I tell you this though? Roman Polak told me a long time ago that he felt more pressure playing in St. Louis than he did in Toronto. Now it was a different time in Toronto when he was there. They wasn't the Toronto now that has Stanley Cup aspirations.
Yeah.
But he said the pressure he felt from you, the general manager, the ownership, to win, because the team obviously was a very competitive team. Like in Toronto, he said they weren't listening to like sports radio or the players. They're not reading the paper. So the pressure to win was greater for him in St. Louis than it was in Toronto. I just felt, and it was a private conversation. It was not during an interview where he's pumping up St. Louis, So I just thought it was interesting he said that.
Well, I think though that's what you want to build is we want to like we have to build that within our group, and that's the expectations of winning for the right reasons for the fans, and we're not. Our coaches, our players, our management can't accept anything less than the absolute best every day, because then we're not doing our jobs. And I'm glad that players feel pressure. I'm glad they feel. I'm glad they want that, and because I have seen, like Donnie Waddell just said that like in Carolina, like losing is too acceptable, and that's not good. And he's going in, or not in Carolina. I'm sorry, in Columbus.
In Columbus,
I don't believe that was the case with Yarmo and JD, because I know they're massively competitive people.
Yeah.
But you have to build it, as Cam knows, like you, Jersey, like you had the Rangers, you had everybody else, you had Lou.
Yeah.
Like that pressure I would assume came from Lou. Like you knew 100% that if you please Lou, everybody else is going to be pleased.
It all coexists. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
he's taking some heat right now because like Anthony Duclair had to cut his hair. Do you have any rules for your players that people may not know? Like he makes them shave and all that. I kind of like the old school mentality.
It blew up, and people were
taking it out of context.
Taking it out of context. But go ahead.
That's social media.
Yeah,
exactly.
And George Steinbrenner was the same way with the Yankees and whatnot.
And George and Lou were good friends too. Which no, I'm not a big. Again, I like to read, so Bill Parcells, I read his book. He's got a great line. I'll paraphrase it. He said, they asked him what team rules. I said, I don't have any team rules. And so I'm turning the next page like, that's Bill Parcells. No team rules. I thought he was all about rules. And basically what he said in the book was like, well, so I had a team rule and you couldn't do cocaine. What did I do with Lawrence Taylor? Oh. No. If it was a third string lineman that did special team did cocaine, he's off the team.
Mm-hmm.
But it's Lawrence Taylor. We got to work with this, and that's a team rule, because
and hookers.
I do believe if you have a rule, you have to follow it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, because then you lose the respect of the players.
What are you?
Do you want your guys to go out and have fun after a win, Saturday night win? Go out and they're going to have the day off on Sunday. Like, are you paying attention to what they're doing, or are you just going to let them do their thing?
I've never been a guy to be concerned about what they do off the top, probably to a fault, because ultimately, my thought process, if you control that, then when they do, then it's like a prison break, when they do have fun. I just want them to be who they are. And if they go out and do it all the time, they'll be out of this organization by the time we're good anyways, So I don't have a lot. No, I'm, I have expectations but like I'll speak for myself, don't live in a glass house, like made mistakes, made a lot of them, you try and learn from them. So I'm not looking to catch anybody doing anything that's not, I don't see the value in that.
You have any regrets? You ever made a trade that you regret making?
Yeah, I've had regrets on outcomes. Nothing more than well, yeah. There's two. In Dallas when we made Brendan Morrow the captain, and Mike Modano was the captain. All the logic that worked up to it was Mike was part of a generation. This is the next generation. Mike can help Brendan take it on. A little bit like what's going on with the Leafs. But it wasn't right. And it wasn't the perception from the fans that made it right. It just, when I saw how it worked itself out, it wasn't right. And I respected Mike. I do respect Mike Modano, and I felt it was a bad idea. It was right intentions, bad idea. And I said, like you idiot, make them co-captains. The answer is, or do nothing. Yeah. That one obviously.
Did it put Brendan in a tough spot? We've had all those guys on. Talked in depth about it, from Brendan to Mike to other.
I don't think it put Brendan in a bad spot for two reasons. The players love Brendan, and they loved his and Mike handled it unreal, unbelievable.
It wouldn't have worked if he didn't.
Yeah, he was disappointed in the decision. As he again, I made a mistake, but he just said to Brendan, "I'm here for you." Mike Modano is one of the classiest human beings you're ever going to meet, and he handled that situation with himself better than I could see anybody else doing. And he made it okay. He made a bad decision work out okay.
What's the other one?
Not being able to figure out Petro. It just seemed too easy to end up where it ended up. And again, Petro's another guy I got a ton of respect for, because I do understand that any success I've had as part of a group, it's the guys, no matter how much I think I'm involved in that, I go home and I don't have a sore on me. My legs aren't sore. My knees aren't sore. I didn't break an arm. I didn't get punched in the face. I understand who does the work in an organization. It's the guys on the ice. And I just think with Petro, if I could have found a way, if I could go back in time and find a way to make that work, I would have done it.
Why didn't it work?
I don't want to get into it. Because he's still playing and I'm still working. And I just know that I've worked with Petro. Like the next year I was doing the Olympics and we had to name our core guys, and I named as one of the core guys because I the respect I have for the guy is unbelievable, and he's still chugging along and doing a hell of a job. It didn't work, and I'm disappointed in it because there's not quite honestly a time I go by and I see those statues out in front of the arena and doesn't cross my mind he should have had one. But so you asked, there you go.
Business. What about Oshie? Is that a hard one or no?
No, he was young.
Yeah. Okay.
It wasn't like, I didn't have a lot of history with him.
Yeah.
The hard ones are the ones that you have battle scars with people over time.
And won championships.
Won championships and understand you won championships off of their back. You understand how they helped build a franchise. They not that like Osh wasn't easy, but it was just a young guy that needed a different opportunity. And the definition of insanity to keep doing the same thing over and over again. I think it's going to change. That team wasn't changing, and it might have been shock therapy to the whole group when a guy of that caliber moves on. And then there's also any that what you're talking about earlier. It wasn't, we had Tarasenko and Schwartz coming, they needed to be paid.
Yeah.
Well, Osh's contract was up the next year. He wanted to be paid.
got paid.
He
Not
got
everybody's
paid. He
getting
got paid.
paid.
Now, the female women here in St. Louis
Yeah.
weren't happy with it, just so
Yes,
you know.
yeah.
Last thing for you. Is there anything left on the table that you want to accomplish as a manager
Yeah, I'd like to win Stanley Cup. I'd like to win a gold medal.
that you
Damn
haven't?
right.
Okay. That you
You,
haven't.
you can never have enough.
Exactly.
That you haven't done yet. Okay. What are
Yeah, well, yeah. There's things like the things that I want to do now are I want Jake Neighbors to be put in the spot to have a great career. I want Snuggerud to be put. I want to help these guys. I want to help Steen. Like I'm at that point now where you've taken enough from the game. It's time to really start giving back, and I want to give it back to the guys that I work with now because so many guys have helped me along the way. Now it's time for me to start helping guys.
I like that.
Army,
Army.
you're the
thanks,
man.
Hey, have a great year.
We're excited.
also.
Everybody's
Good.
excited,
I
by the
know.
way, in this
Good.
town.
Well, I'm
When's
excited.
that prospect? When's that rookie tournament start?
Couple of weeks.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
I
Let's
know.
go.
That's easy
We
travel.
got a lot to
huh?
watch.
Yeah, that is
A lot of
very
guys to
easy.
watch.
I
All right.
know.
Thanks
I
for having
know.
me
You're
on.
the
guys.
man.
Shit, all
Right
right.
on, Army.
Yeah.
The Chemistry Podcast is brought to you by Bellman. BEHLMANN. Bellman Automotive. Located where?
Troy.
Troy, Missouri. Buick GMC on one side of the street. Right on the other side, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Get yourself some new wheels in time for the winter. That was Doug Armstrong.
Man, he's cool.
I've lost my voice a little bit because I was coaching this past weekend, Cam.
Yeah.
Let's go, change. You know, sometimes the kids, they hear you and they just want to ignore you.
Oh, I don't like that.
Oh, God.
Especially when you know they heard you. You're like, get off. And they don't.
Do you know that one of the kids, and his dad's a cool ass dude, man. Played AAA, was around your age maybe. But so the parents go out of town to Mexico. So hockey's the one sport, like if you're gonna leave the grandparents in charge, like it's a lot to ask. You know, they don't really know how to do everything, you know, there's a lot going on. You got equipment, you gotta bring everything. So the grandmother runs over his equipment.
Oh, no.
So he comes to the rink, dude. The helmet is like,
Beat up.
oh, it's like
Yeah.
his shin guards are all mangled.
Correct.
Grandfather or the uncle, somebody had to go buy him a new helmet at the pro shop at the rink and everything. And it's just like, you know, we've all been there, man. You know what I'm
They
saying?
got it's
Everybody-
hard.
It is. It
It's
is.
hard playing youth hockey, and you're competitive, and you're traveling all over the place. You got games here and there, and
The
then
parents need to have a getaway, dude.
yeah, they got to get away, man. So the grandparents try as hard as they can, and they're lucky that your grandparents are
Lucky that
around.
you have them.
You know, my granddaddy didn't get to see me play, man. I wish he would have.
Mm.
Both of them. I never met the one. My dad's dad, shit kicker, died in 1990, cancer, and fucked my dad up bad. I remember as a
Dad's
kid.
dad?
I remember as a kid, like it was fucking rocked the whole family.
Do you remember him?
Yeah, I do. But he never got to saw me play. He would have
You weren't
loved.
playing at 6 years old.
No, he would have loved it, dude. Him and my dad would have traveled and watched me play everywhere. If he was alive. It
Mhm.
sucks. That sucks. But at least my dad was there. My mom,
Tougher than you.
fucking tougher than dog shit. Fought in World War II, baby. Shit kicking. That's why he got that tattoo. He had that son of a bitch right on his fucking jacked ass
Did?
arms. Yeah.
Why do you have like a tramp stamp right there?
Tramp stamps on your back, you dork. It's when you blow your load when you're banging a girl.
Why do you have it right in your upper thigh?
Because I wanted it there. I want to look at it.
Mhm.
And if I'm naked around a woman, she sees it, but no one else can see
Okay,
it.
I'm thinking about getting a tattoo.
Don't. Jesus.
Like an arm sleeve.
Because somebody else, like you always do. You need to stop doing
all
stuff that you.
all the NHL players are getting.
Yeah, but you're not an NHL player. And you're 47 years old. Don't get a tattoo. And if Chloe wants to get one, say no. And if your wife wants to get one, I'd say fuck no.
What if she wants a little thing on her? What's that gonna do? You can
Dumb.
get fake ones
Look
now.
dumb.
Anyway. They look real and whatever.
Yeah, Kate told you. Kate wanted to get one,
Mhm.
like a little thing. I go, are you
On her neck?
She wanted one, something right there, or like a little thing. I go,
Oh,
are you out of your
God.
goddamn?
She's pure.
I go, no one's touching you with that fucking thing.
Mm.
I put my foot down on that.
But I mean, I am.
She
thinking,
puts her foot down on things with me. That's all good. Her getting a tattoo? Oh hell no!
I could use it tough,
You should get it. Yeah,
badass on my neck.
yeah. Be sick.
Be like, what's up,
Be like,
dude?
white dudes for Kamala. That'd be the coolest. On your back.
For Clemson.
No, on your lower back. White dude for Kamala.
For Clemson.
And Clemson. and or Clemson.
Oh, shit. Roddy, it's all good, man. We know what you meant.
We know what you meant. White people, bad athletes. That's
Although I started,
you know,
safety.
we're all bad
They
athletes.
moved me to corner, though.
We're not good athletes.
They moved me to corner.
They moved you all over the fucking place.
To the corner.
Fucking charity fucking event. Jesus Christ.
Man.
I would have rolled you.
No, you
right.
wouldn't have. Dude.
How can you not think that way?
Technique.
What was your height and weight? 5'2", 100 pounds?
Not much.
With little hands? How the fuck?
It's amazing.
It's
amazing.
It's unbelievable.
You ever heard of Doug Flutie?
Yeah.
It's amazing, dude. There's people.
You have little tiny pincers for hands. Like little
What's a
little
pincer?
little pincer. You have little pincers. You're not grabbing the fucking ball. You're skinny. You were really skinny back then. What are you doing?
Anticipating.
You really thought the game out well.
I had in the. I was in the playbook.
Is
Dude.
he a good athlete? No. But he really thinks the game.
All right, so Army. What stood out from Army, dude?
He's just real.
What do you think when he said about Petro?
I liked it.
You know, he pointed out something that I thought was very interesting. I mean, I love the fact that I wasn't expecting him to say that because earlier in the conversation, as you heard,
Yeah.
we brought up kind of Petro, you know, a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I just said, hey, what do you regret? He said two things. First one even was interesting with the Mike Modano captaincy. Sorry, I was coaching all weekend. And so the Mike Modano captaincy, which he regretted taking the C off of
Moto?
I don't know if Tree's going to say the same thing 20 years from now about taking it off of JT, although you never know.
Moto and JT are not in the same category.
No, they're not.
Just so all y'all.
No, they're not. But you wouldn't know it the way some people talk.
You know shit. Yeah. No, Moto was on a different level.
Different level.
He's gonna be he's a straight up ball.
Tried to steal my girlfriend in high school at the card shop. Offered her tickets right in front of my
that's
face. Just,
I could say something right now, but I'm not.
don't say it.
I'm not.
Okay.
So how about you?
Oh, thank God. So that was the first one. Then the second one he said was the Petro should have been able to work it out. Thought it was interesting.
I know.
But then he says, not a day goes by where I don't drive by that rink and I look at those statues. And
You would have been there.
could have been there.
Damn right he would have.
You think if Petro had to do it all over again,
Yeah.
he would?
You know why?
Because he has a Stanley Cup.
You're goddamn right.
Okay.
It's all that matters.
You know, I watched
He made the right decision.
on NHL Network last night. You know, Game 7, Oilers-Panthers, I watched at a bar in Canada. And you know what it's like to watch a game at a bar.
Kids are fucking yelling. You're like,
There's people everywhere.
Yeah.
Although it's a Canadian crowd, they were like very locked into the game. But I watched the last 10 minutes of that Game 7 last night.
Stressful, man.
What a finish.
Yeah. Excuse me.
What? Oh, my God.
God, I'm
Dude,
sorry,
that
homies.
is you said you don't do that in front of people.
I didn't mean to. I don't burp or fart in front of people. Unless it's my wife. And my dad.
We got a big golf match, dude.
They know. You told them. You need some other material or something?
No, I'm just saying.
You good?
So just be ready.
Don't embarrass me.
There's different ways to look at that because of my
Don't embarrass me.
driving ability and stuff
If
like that.
you show up without golf clubs, you're not using mine.
Okay. Oh, we'll just see how it goes.
Andy,
Are you picking me up?
this is a nice country club, dude. This is from the 1800s. This is one of the first.
What's the dress code?
Dress fucking nice, and you tuck your shit in. You know how to
Really?
dress, dude. Don't act like you don't know how to dress.
I know, but is it a tuck in?
Yes. Hat on straight, man. Look fucking presentable.
Okay.
Like you would for Bally's. Yeah. Look good.
Okay.
You overdress for everything else besides this and other things, but
Okay.
that you need to.
Yeah. You said my shirt was wrinkled.
It's wrinkled.
So anyway, so I thought that was excellent. Army does a great job with these conversations.
He's great.
Like so many other general managers we've had
interesting.
on, dude. They're all interesting.
It's
to
so
me.
interesting.
This one is even more interesting because it hits closer to home.
You should have so much knowledge.
One thing I didn't ask him about, which it's kind of been eating at me all weekend, Cam.
What?
And I'll just wait till next time.
What?
We didn't get into like how they go about making decisions with the expansion draft and what he thinks of the expansion draft. And if he would have played that differently, I'm just curious.
Oh, okay.
Because they lost
Yeah.
Vince Dunn.
Yeah.
He had to get paid, though.
I know. And he's doing pretty damn good.
Yeah.
He's top defenseman. I like Vinny Dunn, man.
Thought it was interesting. He said, I brought up Oshie,
Oh, yeah.
and he was like, no. It's like, I didn't really have much of a relationship. He was only here for a couple of years. I didn't draft him.
Yeah.
That's why I like that about Army, though, too. He just doesn't have this emotion.
Well, I know she was getting banged up pretty good, too. And he won a lot of money, and he got a lot of money.
Yeah.
And he won a Stanley Cup.
Yes.
He won a freaking
It
Stanley
worked
Cup
out.
with Ovi.
And the Blues won a cup.
And the Blues won a cup. And then he was swimming with, the fountains with Ovi. Like, no, it all worked out. That's and the Army says that, too, in these trades. Like, it's not like, yeah, I won that trade. You want both.
Yes.
You want both teams for it to work out.
And Broward, just played here that 1 year, and they went to the
Now he's
conference
scouting
final.
for him. So
Yes.
now you have him in your system,
No,
so
exactly.
it's all good.
And-
I like Troy Brower. He's slowed down. But, like, I
had
saw him up in Canada when I was up there in
He had a-
Calgary.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I talked to him for a long
Great-
time.
Great guy.
God, he's handsome.
He had a gray.
Jesus.
He had a knee
good.
knee injury.
Yeah, he was banged up, but he was a good leader, and all of a sudden he's very knowledgeable.
Mhm.
And so maybe he didn't pan out and win and whatnot here, but he scored a big time goal.
Well,
against
it's like
Chicago. They beat Chicago in 14 or whatever it was.
right.
And they finally bumped them off out of the way for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
So he had some memorable.
But I
moments.
like how Army says, people complain, hey, we got rid of Brian Elliott, but then now we have Jordan Kyrou.
Yeah.
So
it all works
They
out.
traded Ryan O'Reilly. They traded Tarasenko, but who knows what this Otto Stenberg's going to end up being?
Yeah,
And Lynn Stein
They got so many first round picks that they get to use. I mean, they could package some guys up.
doesn't even include Dvorsky, but that was probably the Blues pick, I would imagine, 10th overall. But they got those 2 late picks from those
Yeah.
trades, getting first round picks.
People ask me what the Blues are going to do this year. Are they going to be okay? I go, yeah, they're going to be a lot better. They've gotten
Yeah.
they're just
They're
younger and faster,
coming in with some excitement. They're coming in with a little confidence. That's
Yeah.
what I like.
and they got a lot of competition
They got
going.
a lot of good players. They don't really have any true elite alphas. I mean, Robert Thomas could elevate his game into that category. I think he's teetering.
Yeah.
I think Kyrou could certainly get to that category.
Bucci's the alpha. I think.
Bucci's Mr. You know what you're going to get.
He's the alpha, in my opinion, of the forward group.
Yeah. And in Binnington.
And then Ben Doug, who's a winner. The Blues are going to look. Listen, the Blues fans are excited.
Yeah.
They are. They're excited about this year.
Mhm.
They like the aggressiveness.
I mean, the fact
From
that they
Army?
can stay as interesting and as relevant as they do without having to go into full board
Yeah.
rebuild.
Yeah.
And this is why I say this all the time, and I even asked Army about it. And I really mean it, man. If I'm an owner, dude, I am. I gotta have a guy with experience in my front office. I gotta have a lot of experience for just my everyday mental security, knowing that we're in good hands. You know what I mean? And that's where it'll be a challenge for Steiner. Like, he's got a ton of experience being around the game, but he's gonna have Army with him for those first handful of years, which is going to be huge for him.
He's got his hands full, for sure. It's going to be it's going to be able to just kind of like mimic and see what Army does on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, yeah.
You're going to do that for a while, and then the reins are
But
going to be
he's
headed
got
over to
2
you.
years to even get there, and
Yeah.
then Army's not going
You just
anywhere.
be a
then.
sponge, man.
So we appreciate Army for joining us.
Yeah, he was fantastic.
And he was great. So I hope everyone enjoyed it. firstform.com. Firstform.com/Cam&Strick. That is the link. Enter the sweepstakes today to receive a prize pack from First Form and Cam&Strick.
Right. Let's go. Get him in. Get him in.
Let's
Get
go,
him in. Get him
baby.
in. Get him
Illinois
in.
Recovery Center, Cam. You want to talk about that? First?
Swansea, Illinois. Eric Conley, Chrissy Ponoff, my
You wanna
boys.
talk about
You're
that first?
fucking. If you got some shit going on, man, these guys are going to help you. They're genuine, and they will help you.
Yes,
It's not a joke down there, man. They're not fucking around. You get in there, you get work done. Work on yourself. That's exactly what you do at the Illinois Recovery Center in Swansea, Illinois. Chrissy Ponoff, Eric Conley. I love you guys, man. Take care of They take care of everybody. I'm telling you right now.
Reach out to me if you want to get in touch.
Reach out to Andy.
Hat Launch,
At launch, right here.
America's #1 source for customized hats. Every hat tells a story.
God, my wiener was hanging out, wasn't it? My son of a bitch.
Well, hey, go to Facebook and see Cam.
Oh,
Just like Hat Launch or follow him or whatever. You can see.
God.
We got another commercial coming.
It's always something.
I leave and Cam does. Let me get another commercial.
And they asked me.
Hey guys, I have an idea. Andy's gone. Let me get
I didn't
another.
even know Andy was
commercial."
there.
They're like I was an extra or something. Oh, what should we do with Andy, guys? We
Nothing.
made me the damn
Dude,
coach.
nothing.
I was the coach.
What do we do with him? Nothing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But then I was the reporter.
Yeah. No, you're good.
So it all
You did
worked
good,
out.
Andy. You did good.
Oh, thanks.
You helped out a lot.
PatLaunch.com, baby.
You helped out a lot.
Proper cannabis. Use that promo code CamandStrict20. It's going to save you 20%. Don't be like Cam mooching off your friends at 40 years there.
They mooch off of me.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody mooches off of me. It's fine.
Patty Maroon said it was cheap.
Fuck off, Patty.
Patty's playing roller hockey.
Patty's fucking playing roller hockey while I'm fucking having 2 limos out in St. Louis.
Did you see his my limos that you borrowed?
I got 2 limos with all the guys loaded up, and I'm paying on my dime. I pay for everybody's shit. I spent so much money.
You did not.
And you call me cheap?
You did not
Who are
pay
you
for
kidding?
those limos.
Yes, I did, dude.
Greg Jordan.
Yeah, paid for that.
That's
Damn right I
That was
did.
my limo.
They're Andy's limo, whatever. Like,
Because I had a limo.
Andy
That,
didn't pick up anybody in a limo.
yeah, I did.
Yeah,
Including you.
he didn't, dude.
For my radio show, what are you talking
Oh,
about?
that's not partying. You got a deal.
Yeah.
I'm literally picking up guys in limos, and it was so packed that we're scraping on the bottom. We pull over, I order another one, and get more people in that, and we're cruising around
every
downtown.
player
Get
got
out
picked
of
up in
here.
a limo. They bring him to the show in
to
a
your
limo.
Show.
And
Get
I
outta here.
think Larry Plow had a little fun in that limo.
I spent so much money, dude. So much money. I was making money before anybody else was. And all my friends group. I took care of
I
everybody.
think Larry was partying in that limo
God, Kate,
before the
I
interview.
spend money.
Cam, no. You don't need to.
I
justify
spend
it.
money, dude.
No,
It's not good.
Patty was in like a roller hockey tournament like this past weekend or something. Did you see the highlights?
Yeah. He always plays in those.
And somebody pushed him after the whistle.
Ooh. Tough guy. Okay. He played roller hockey. He always does.
Yeah.
It's like he was playing roller hockey when I was taking care of everybody.
Okay.
So if he wants to call me fucking cheap,
He said it.
get his ass on again. Patty, I'm looking at you.
Text him.
I love you. And your family.
Let's find out when he's back.
Oakville Hoosier.
Blue No
I'll say it.
Roofing, baby. Talk to Dave Novak. What
Hey, what's up? Fucking hockey guy. God dang roofer, man. Shit kickers right there. You couldn't do that.
Yes, I could.
No, you couldn't.
I know I couldn't actually.
There it is. There you go.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, that's it.
There you go.
Because you couldn't
Hey.
either.
I could grind something if I need to. You know.
5 things they do. Name them.
Huh?
5 things they do. Name them.
They do roofing, siding, gutters, and what's the other one called?
Soffit.
Soffits. And that's the same as a gutter, though, like, right?
No, it's not.
It's a little thing at the bottom.
Roofing, siding, fascia,
Fascia. What's that?
soffit, and gutters.
What's fascia?
It's like the side part.
What?
It's like the side
What is it?
part of the siding. It's like this, like the stuff that goes on the side. I got the corner,
So it's a siding.
the corner fascia,
Okay.
corner soffit too.
Damn good job.
Because like when you get like siding and roofing, you pick your fascia, your colors for your
Facial?
Yeah. 314-920-5713.
There it is.
Ask for who?
Novak.
Dave, baby.
Big Davy boy.
Hell yeah.
We love you, man. Welcome aboard, buddy.
Welcome aboard, man. Sparks hockey, baby. Get yourself a Sparks and do it today.
Simplify.
It's fun talking about Sparks, man.
Yeah.
Having them on board. If you have a son or daughter playing, there's no better investment you can make.
Damn right.
And I mean that. And don't be wasting all your money going to the hockey shop when you can just do it in your own basement, man. Sometimes you forget. You're like, damn, I didn't get a skate sharpener. We got a game in the morning. And the hockey shop's closed anyway, but you don't have to worry about it. You just go down to your basement, garage, whatever.
Yoink,
Hit
yoink.
the button.
Ying.
What happens when you go to the hockey shop?
Well, you got Seth there, which kills animals. And he's looking up weird
And he's late. He's
He's
not
late.
He's not even focused. Doesn't even know what he's doing.
He's looking at your credit card number.
He's the guy they hire.
You walk in with your daughter.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Get away from that weirdo.
Just stay away from stuff.
Get Sparks. That's all.
Bench
You-
Clears, baby. BenchClears.com. You can get one of these beautiful tanks.
Look at that right here.
Yeah, they're all over. Those are the
NHL approved.
and American Hockey League approved.
And
they're-
American
and they're lightweight. Listen, you
Yeah.
can wear those to the beach, to the pool. You can wear them anywhere, and they have hoodies. So when it gets
Yeah, when it gets cold.
cold outside,
And windbreakers.
we're fine. They got windbreakers too. And pants.
Awesome company. Check them out. Check them out.
Said it, Joe.
Joe, what's up, baby? Working your ass
Say
off,
hi to
man.
Anushka.
Anushka, what's up, girl? Yeah.
We had a great call with them the other day.
Anushka.
Anushka's working her ass off.
Damn right she is. Late at night, too, because it's late over there.
That's right. Cam at Bellman, you get no.
Swinging decks. None of that. God, I hate
But you
swinging
do get
decks.
flavored water and sushi. which is
It's
a
funny.
unbelievable deal out there located where?
Troy, Missouri.
Troy, Missouri. So, in other words, you've got your Buick GMC on
I'll
one
take
side of
them
the
Yankees.
street.
I'll take them Yankees.
I'll take that GMC. I'm looking for a 250 or
Oh, no,
2500.
God, you are.
You
You
are.
are. Is it
How
a
dare
chameleon?
you.
Are you?
Are you?
Every,
Because I got Buick I got Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on the other side of the street, baby. Something for all 4 seasons.
what else do you
Cam's
like?
looking at that
Pantera?
pink Jeep. No. But Sammy Hagar was here, and Alice Cooper was last night.
I like Alice Cooper and White Zombie, baby.
Yeah.
I missed that. I'd see that. Alice Cooper's badass and Rob Zombie, awesome. God, I should have went that.
I know. I should
Damn. I
was
would have saw that. Sammy Hagar, nah, he's cool. I like him.
Van Halen.
I like him as a person.
Yeah.
But do I like his music? Can't drive 55. Yeah, it's all good. I like Van Halen better. But damn, Rob Zombie and fucking Alice Cooper,
Yeah.
get on with yourself. Damn, I should have. I'm missing out on some concerts.
I
dude.
know.
I need to go to some.
Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on the other side
your
of the
mind
street
right.
in Troy, Missouri. Cam will go to his friend's house to get his mind right before the show.
Oh, I'll be going to my buddy's house today for sure.
Beforehand.
Like I'll pick up what I'll have my stuff, but
Yeah.
I like to go to my buddy's house
Yeah.
and fucking chill, dude. They got acreage.
Say hi to
and-
Danny boy
Hey, Danny.
and Dale
Dale.
and Kenny.
What the fuck? Is that Kenny? We love you guys, man. What's up?
Hey, I keep mentioning the swimming pool, Shilly Plastering, man. If you're looking at a pool or if you have a pool, you need to get some touched up or anything worked, don't call anybody else.
Yeah, no.
Shilly Plastering, man. They're the best in the business. They had a Ryan.
Ryan, what up? Tell your daddy I said what's up too.
So again, SparksHockey.com. Welcome back, Sparks and everybody else.
Yeah.
SparksHockey.com, baby. Use that promo code Cam and Strick. It's
We
gonna
love you
save
guys.
more
We love
money.
all y'all.
It's going to save you more money than Black Friday. and
It's Cyber Monday, man. Oh, I don't mind.
Hey, we thank Doug Armstrong, the DA, baby.
We got some badass interviews coming up here too, guys.
Yes, we do.
You know, and
And
we
I
did,
know
and,
it's
we
been a
did,
tough week.
and we won't interrupt.
And it's been a tough week, yes.
Oh yeah, it's been a tough week.
So I hope we were able to. You know,
Some people said we interrupted Matthew.
I know.
I'm like,
dude,
we're just
our
chilling.
boy, dude. We're just having a conversation.
95% of people are like, that was the best interview
you
he's
want-
ever done.
Oh, I know. That's
That's
what I'm saying.
all I got.
You want us to be like Larry King? What was it like winning the cup?
I gotta like interact with him. He's our
We're
buddy.
shooting the
Like
shit.
he's our buddy. So it's like it's different. It's not.
You basically heard the conversation we would have had if we were just chilling in the
On the-
backyard on the deck.
It's Chili's pool.
At Chili's pool, man.
Yeah, you know, getting our mind right. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. I
So-
do know what you mean, dude. Hey, Maddie, thanks for all your help.
Maddie, love
bro.
you, Maddie.
Half Coast Studios.
Half Coast Studios right here,
everybody
baby.
here.
Representing.
And again, we're thinking about the Gaudreaus and everybody affiliated
That's
with
true.
with Johnny Hockey Man and
His bro.
Matthew
Yep.
and
And the family.
obviously the wives, the kids.
We love you guys. You're in our hearts.
Trip, who is Matthew's wife is expecting to deliver
Yeah.
the baby boy. Trip
You're in our
in the
hearts.
coming months, man.
You know,
and
you're
they
in
will
our
be
hearts.
they will be well taken.
in
care of.
everybody's hearts, actually. Everyone. So
Everybody. Yeah, everything.
we all love you.
Yeah.
You know.
Much love.
So we love all you guys. We'll see you. Enjoy the weekend.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys.
Case, y'all.